Ladies and gentlemen, you already know what it is. Okay, damn. Oh, shit.
I'm kinda rugged this mother. I'm trying to anyways. Got you hard looking mother. Come on. I was trying to enjoy my night, but you done came in. Turned around the vibe I had before I came in. I done turned into a rude dude. Why you had to fuck up the night? Now we got to fight. I'ma knock out your lights. You ain't doing nothing but running your yab. You gotta go to the drum bar, homeboy. I am strap. Hey, I done turned into a rude dude, man. Why you had to fuck up the night? Now we got to fight. I'ma knock out your lights. Your little lady tryna hold you back. You better listen to her. She better not talk that. I'ma have to put something straight through her. Hey, I done turned into a rude dude, man. Now why you had to fuck up the night? Now we got to fight. I'ma knock out your lights. Come on. Yeah, damn. You think you cool? You think I'm not? You think you tough? Damn, you think you hard? You think I'm soft? You think you rough? Damn, you talking shit. Better close your lip. You need to flip from the end of the night. I'm gonna have to take your shots. Damn, you think you cool? You think I'm not? You think you tough? Damn, you think you hard? You think I'm soft? You think you rough? Damn, you talking shit. Better close your lip. You need to flip from the end of the night. I'm gonna have to take your shots. Sunday at the park, I'm chilling, trying to get my swerve on. Some little lane trying to run that game, trying to get his serve on. Now I done turned into a rude dude. Well, you gotta fuck up the park. I'ma put you in the dark. Clap on, clap off. You ain't doing nothing but running your pie hole. You gon' make me do something that'll get your eyes rolled. Now I don't wanna be a rude dude, man. Well, you gotta fuck up the park. I'ma put you in the dark. Clap on, clap off. If that's your car, you need to go ahead and get into it. Better not talk that shit. You gon' make me put something through it. Now I done turned into a rude dude, man. Why you gotta fuck up the park? Gotta put you in the dark. Lights on, lights off. Yeah, damn. You think you cool? You think I'm not? You think you tough? Damn, you think you hard? You think I'm soft? You think you rough? Damn, you talking shit. Better close your lip. You need to flip from the end of the night. I'm gonna have to take your shots. Damn, you think you cool? You think I'm not? You think you tough? Damn, you think you hard? You think I'm soft? You think you rough? Damn, you talking shit. Better close your lip. You need to flip from the end of the night. I'm gonna have to take your shots. Think they hard, so why they think I'm not? Until I put it hard and I show them what I got. Kinda like your niggas think they hard, so why they think I'm not? Until I put it hard and I show them what I got. Kinda like
Just think they hard, so why they think I'm not? Until I pull they card and I show them what I got, kinda like, you don't wanna play around here. Them just think they hard, so why they think I'm not? Until I pull they card and I show them what I got, kinda like, you don't wanna play around here. You stupid.
yeah, damn. You think you cool? You think I'm not? You think you tough? Damn, you think you hard? You think I'm soft? You think you rough? Damn, you talking shit. Better close your lip. You need to flip from the end of the night. I'm gonna have to take your shots. Damn, you think you cool? You think I'm not? You think you tough? Damn, you think you hard? You think I'm soft? You think you rough? Damn, you talking shit. Better close your lip. You need to flip from the end of the night. I'm gonna have to take your shots.
Good afternoon. Welcome to the Wyatt Live conversation. Where we at? Who's with me? Couldn't get started without my brother Black Lion being in the building. Y'all gonna hate me for that. That's my man. 100 grand. Y'all can say what you want to say. I've been doing that guy since I was a child. What's good with everybody? I know you're gonna say I always say this, but I really almost didn't make it. I have a dentist appointment coming up. I don't know if you guys know, but I wear a retainer because I wear braces at the bottom. And I'm having some issues. So you may hear a little slur, a little blur. Yeah, you may hear me sound a little bit different today. But I'll do the best I can. I almost didn't make it because I do have something going on. It's actually happening and going on right now. I'm just going to go in and out. If I can, I'll just, cover my messages the best I can. I appreciate those that want to spend a few minutes with me on Monday. Mondays are a little slow. I found out that Mondays and Fridays are slow here. First of all, you don't want me messing up your weekend, so you don't really want to come here and have a conversation with me or hear what I have to say on Friday, because it might lapse into the weekend and your conscience might start getting a hold of you when you're blazing or you're doing something, and you could be doing something different with that money. You could be buying something that's going to make you money. I mean, that's just always been my thing. I know some people not going to appreciate what I have to say about this, but what made me a pretty good tree seller, I sold trees back in the day, all right, is that I sold everything in the bag. I'm just going to be honest with you. I was a kid. I'm not proud of this, but I am proud of my grind and proud of my hustle. Look, I sold the shake, I sold the seeds, I sold the stems. I just didn't smoke. I didn't do it. I was in it for the cheddar, the cheese. It wasn't something that I was doing for the lifestyle or none of that. I had regulars. I mean, I wasn't a block boy. I wasn't a corner boy or no shit like that. I had my regulars. Y'all be surprised. Y'all love some of the people that used to smoke them trees back in the day. They were prominent people in the neighborhood. They paid more because they wasn't gonna come out and let people know that they was blazing. So they paid more. I'm just being honest with you. And I ain't gonna put nobody business out there. I'm just putting mine out there a little bit. But the truth of the matter is, how's the mic sound? Are we good? We good? Okay, I just want to make sure we good. I could be sitting here talking to myself, but I'm sure by now I would be getting text messages, red alerts. A raven will be at my door right now if you couldn't hear me. You know what I'm saying? I get a lot of messages away from the show. So I just want to let y'all know. But yeah, honestly, like back in the day, back in our younger days when we was from I don't know, from Laura Holmes all the way down to Stanley Row, all the way up to Logan Street by the Boys Club. That was just the areas that we had. And, thank you, everyone who said the mic is nice. Thank you. I see it on Facebook. I see it on YouTube. Thank you. I appreciate it. But yeah, it was the shake. It was everything. The old saying, never get high on your own supply and all that old shit. Never worry about, that was never a worry. You feel me? It was never a worry. Lannis Timmons, what's good, brother? Let me get to some real shit now. Lannis Timmons just walked in. I don't want certain. I respect certain people. I don't want to say my elders because I'm older now. So if I say my elders, I'll be like, damn, elder, how old is he? No, but Lannis Timmons, they good people. Him and his wife Ann, some of the best people in the city that I know. Never really got a lot of. They get their props. They get their flowers, but I don't think it's enough. They touched a lot of children in Cincinnati. That didn't sound right, but y'all know what I mean when I'm on my having real conversation. They touched a lot of children in the city of Cincinnati when it came down to that Friars Club. I don't think Cincinnati appreciate them enough because of the things that they were able to do for some of the kids, keeping them out of the streets. And I know that most of the kids that went to the Friars Club had some type of support system. You know what I'm saying? I never went as a child because we had the Boys and Girls Club right there, but the Boys and Girls Club was not in every neighborhood. So they had some kids that was coming from different places that some of them had Boys and Girls Clubs. I think Avondale had Fleshman and they got some Avondale crowd, but they didn't get a whole lot, not from my understanding, because, I watched their basketball teams over the years when we were little. We play them every once in a while. And they never had guys that we was really familiar with, LeBlon and Fleshman and Aiden State. And, there was another one. I can't think of what was the other one. Allen House. Allen House was not really a Boys and Girls Club. They just borrowed ours. Allen House was kids, underprivileged kids. We all were underprivileged, but these were kids that were in like a foster system. You know what I'm saying? They didn't have like to be honest with you, I think that's what the Kevin Farmer gentleman went through, was like an Allen House type of thing. You know what I'm saying? And I can relate to them kids. A lot of them are damaged but they had nothing to do with it. They were just born. A lot of these kids were damaged. They had absolutely nothing. And I think I'm the only one in my whole little pack that never had a fight with them. Because I don't know if my granny was just one of those that kind of put me on the track of saying, look, let people be who they are and just learn that if they get you, they got you. You know what I'm saying? One time, just don't align yourself up to be, done in again. But that's how I was raised. I was not raised to pay people back. I was not raised with the payback thing. Now, I've changed a little bit as an adult because I've had a family. You see what I'm saying? I'm not that guy that you can do something to his family and just be like, oh, you got me one time. I'm gonna make sure you don't get me again. Now, it might be a little payback in that. You know what I'm saying? I might retaliate. But growing up, I was never the get back kid. Never. Because my granny raised me. My grandmother always told me they would get it worse from somewhere else. You can't punish someone the way God can punish them. And, I learned that most times people that need to get punished, that need some get back, God is not on your time. He on his time. And generally those people who burn people or do people bad, they don't just do one person and then God get them. God let them accumulate all these, people that they take advantage of, and then he get them at one time to make up for all the people that they've, done some shit to. So that's the way my grandmother always explained it to me, because I used to always wonder, like, how in the hell does this guy, he's so bad and he gets away with everything. And I just felt like God wasn't punishing him when I wanted it to be done. So I would always tell my grandmother, like, my grandmother really challenged me a whole lot when it came to this faith thing. I trusted my grandmother more than anybody in the world. You see what I'm saying? I trusted my grandmother more than anybody. My grandmother could tell me anything. Thank God she was a good person. She could tell me anything and I would believe it, or I would live by it, because I just didn't think that she would ever tell me a lie or tell me something that was going to run me in the wrong direction. You know what I'm saying? I never thought that my grandmother would be that way to me. And, we're all human. No one's perfect, but I thought I had a perfect grandmother. I mean, that's just how I was as a child. I was definitely naive, but naive in a good kind of way, because where I'm from, where a few of us are from, payback was like daily. And that's what you're seeing in these streets right now. Y'all think these senseless shootings. This ain't senseless shootings in the street. Motherfucker gonna get shot outside of a bar 23 times and it's senseless. No, it makes sense to somebody. Feel me? It's definitely making sense to somebody. I mean, if I get shot 23 times, y'all think it's just gonna be senseless shooting? Now y'all gonna say, what the fuck? What was Wyatt doing? He owed somebody the money. He owed him the money. He was messing with somebody's woman. It has to be something attached to 23 bullets going into a man's body. It's not senseless. You know what was senseless? The young lady that was walking down the street in Cincinnati, Ohio, downtown, and got shot in the back accidentally because somebody was doing Wild Wild West in the neighborhood. That's senseless. You feel me? That somebody was in the wrong area. Unless, now I don't know what the investigation is. Now I know the people. I shouldn't say too much, but I do know the young lady who got shot up. I didn't know her like that. Not like that. I know her family. I know the people. I know her mom, the grandmama and all that, because we had a huge age gap. But I know that she wasn't out in them streets running around, and that was retaliation. That wasn't that. That was retaliation in that area, and she happened to be in that area. She's not a mother of 5 out here in the streets banging and slanging like that. That's not what happened. So, the young man at Withrow High School, I can go on and on and on. We can name these. I know y'all have to be reminded by me, because a lot of people don't talk about this shit because it's, oh, well, move on to the next. Let's wait for something to happen by somebody else. Once they start shooting us, then it'll be a problem. But when we out here trying to we picking up our own bodies, shot and killed, and you could tell. Look at how nobody's talking about these brothers as being picked up on these murder charges. No one. A year ago, the man that was shot on Fountain Square, the charge now with a felony assault, attempted murder. You don't even hear about it. You hear about it, they might, in the newspaper, but you're not having conversations of why these things are going on, why they're happening. Why is it so much retaliation going on in these streets? Because there's so much going on in these streets. If it wasn't so much crooking, and if we had more booking instead of crooking, we might have a better situation going on in our city, in the city of Cincinnati. One thing I'm going to definitely not pass on today in the conversation is I want to talk about those 50-year mortgages. I want to give you my pros and cons. Yeah, I got some pros and I got some cons. I'll wet your beak before I go to the phone line and before I start talking to other little plug in a few little things. I'm going to talk about my Bengals just for a hot second. But here's something to think about before we get to the 50-year mortgage conversation. Let me take a sip if you don't mind. I thought of my grandmother when I thought of this question for everyone. What's the difference between someone taking a 50-year mortgage out on a piece of property, 50-year mortgage, or someone that rents for 50 years? See, I thought of my grandmother when I came up with this question, because my grandmother was not a property owner. Now, before she died, probably five years before she died, she had said something to me because she had watched what I had done, and the direction I was going in. Well, I was already pretty much there, but she told me many, many years ago, the one thing she wished she would have done was buy a house, buy a piece of property, buy a house. She said that to me 20 something years ago. And I remembered, and 5 years before she died, she said it again. And that's when we had I told my grandmother, boy, I mean, like I said, there was not a more perfect person in the world. I think we all could say that. I don't know if we all could say that, but I can definitely say that my grandmother was a pivotal part of my life. And like I said, she could tell me anything and I would buy that brand. You feel me? I would just, whatever she told me, it was true. God, it was it. But she made me think of this question, and I'm posing to the audience. Amber says nothing different. Okay, I'm sorry. Donna, I see you. She said, damn it, no phones. Okay. I like to take phone calls. Matter of fact, the phone is on 2 notches now. On Friday, it was on 1 notch. Actually, it's on 1 notch again. I'll have to get this fixed. Maybe it's just where I'm sitting the phone. Yeah, because it just went to 2 notches sitting over there. So maybe I'm just sitting in a bad spot. There's a lot of a lot of stuff, electrical stuff in this place. And maybe it has just a bad phone service or phone line. I never noticed it before. I didn't start having real bad phone problems. Now it's back down. Oh, there it is. I didn't start having bad phone problems till Friday. Now it might have acted up a few times because people that call, I used to think it was their phone and I would joke on them, and maybe it was my line. I don't know, but I'm watching it now and it's at 2 bars. So if you have a question or two, feel free to call in. But yeah, Amber says nothing is different. My grandmother, the way her and I used to talk, she made me think of this question, and that is, and I'll pose it again because a few people just came in. What's the difference between a person who takes a 50-year mortgage out versus someone that's been renting for 50 years? What do you think the differences are between the two? All right, we'll talk about that here in a little bit. I do want to get into the 50-year mortgage conversation. I want to get deep down and depth into it. I'll tell you my pros and I'll tell you my cons. I don't know. I don't think you're going to see me lean one way or the other. So I think this is going to be a fair, neutral fight discussion, if you want to call it that. My Cincinnati Bengals. I'm the biggest Bengal fan in the city of Cincinnati. It's my team. I grew up fighting when the Bengals were bad and they had the bags over the head and all that old stuff. This Sunday's game was a typical Pittsburgh Steelers team. The one thing that I do remember about the Pittsburgh Steelers, ever since I was a little guy, a little boy, is that the Pittsburgh Steelers have always been bullies. They always played the game hard. They always hit hard. They always, open the playbook up on you. They always just slap the shit out of you. They always just drug you around. If you were built to be drugged, they had a hook for you and they were going to drag you. And the one thing I notice about this Cincinnati Bengal team is it's a little soft. They can be drugged. And you've seen it. You've seen the Pittsburgh Steelers come in and be very aggressive. I'm sorry, I'm reading. They were very aggressive. They play physical on both sides of the ball. So, they tend to hit you when they're on offense. They run into you and they hit the defender. The Bengals aren't really built for that. They don't have those aggressive people, the Logan Wilsons you just let go. The Gates and those guys from last year, the safeties, those guys are gone. So we're not built that way anymore. And Pittsburgh just showed you that when you soft, you have no business in the NFL. And unfortunately, my Cincinnati Bengal team is soft. Let me tell you what happens when you I hate to say this because this is my squad, but I got to be honest. If we were on our way to the Super Bowl, or if we was going if we were 9-2, and if we was running the table on people, and we was playing aggressive, and we was playing great football, I would be sitting here bragging. So I got to match the energy of being on the losing end of this as well. I got to start telling the truth. I will tell the truth, but they're just soft. I don't think that we have the proper players for the style of football that we're trying to play. You don't have good tacklers. You got some great pieces on offense, but when you score 38 points, 42 points, and you lose, you don't have a good team. You simply don't have a good team. And that's just what I've come to conclusion with. We don't have a very good team in Cincinnati, not the Bengals. All right. We got some good players, but we don't have a good team. It take a team to win and go. It take a team to go to the playoff. It take a team to go to the Super Bowl. It take a team. One side of the ball is just not going to get it done. Let me just say this about my man, Jamar Chase. Jamar Chase pulled the ultimate we about to fight move. Okay. I was going to wait and say this a little bit later when a few people got in, but I'm just going to let it go because I want to try to get as much in as I possibly can in this short period of time. Jamar Chase did some shit that he really should know better. He should know better. All right. And that shit gonna linger with him. That's gonna be with him for a while in a different kind of way. Not football way, but locker room way. Other teams, gangsters, players, they gonna look at him a little bit different. Because I'm gonna tell you something. The only time you spit on somebody, which he claims he didn't, but the video shows that he clearly did. I still haven't seen the video that says that he clearly did. But I'm listening to the news media and I'm listening to ESPN, and they're saying that he'll probably be suspended for next week because the video clearly shows that he spat on Ramsey, the other kid, the other player. I haven't seen the video, but I'm taking ESPN and local Cincinnati news up there, taking their word. Channel 19, they all saying it, that he spat on the guy. Okay. And if he did that, where we're from, when you spit on somebody, you spit on them with the intent to fight, not spit on them and then fall back, let them get a penalty and get kicked out the game for their penalty. That's not what the spit game is about. The spit game is, motherfucker, you have no other choice but to fight me once I spit on you. Oh, now he's from Louisiana. He know that. But he did. My man Chase did the bitch shit. He spat on him. It's almost like hitting somebody and then, you sneak somebody and then you stand behind the crowd and you stand behind everybody talking about, hold me back, hold me back. But you swung first and now you really don't want to fight, but you got the one punch in that you probably know you're going to get in the fight. And if they let this dude go and they let you go, you probably know you're going to get your ass beat. Jamar Chase pulled some bitch shit. He spit on the dude knowing that it wasn't going to go nowhere. Y'all got to understand, man, there's certain rules to the game. You do certain things to people knowing there's going to be retaliation. There's going to be some consequences to it. And I ain't talking about fines and penalties from the NFL. I'm talking about there's certain things you just don't do to another man. I'm just going to give, I don't know a man in my life that I might know a sucker or two, but I'm talking about men. I don't know a man in my circle that you can spit on and it ain't going to be a fight. You feel me? There ain't going to be, I'm talking about fist flying, chairs and shit moving. You spit on a grown man, there's going to be a fight. Can I tell y'all a story that I'm not proud of? It involves me. It involves spitting on someone. Should I share this story? Because this might be one of those that you'll be like, Wyatt, I can't believe you did that. But I think if you hear it closely and I say it to you slow, I think you might understand why I did it. And I think you might co-sign my actions. I think. So should I share it or should I just fall back and just keep on going? First one I hear from on that's what I'll take that answer as a yes or a no. I'm waiting. I have someone on hold on the phone. I could go to the phone, but I am waiting. I don't have to share the story. It's not a very long story. Okay. David Herring said, fall back. I won't tell the story. I won't tell the story. Let me go to the phone line. Blame David. Good afternoon, caller. This is Wyatt. Who am I speaking with? Hey.
What's up, brother?
Hey, CK, how you doing, man? I didn't catch that first moan.
Let me turn that off, man. I'm glad I got the stuff on, man. I had stuff on when you was calling. Yeah, brother.
What's good?
I usually go by the rule of no rules. You know, in these streets ain't no rules.
Okay.
But I 100% agree with the rule you set today. Like you said, there is no. What you said was true about Chase, and that's our favorite player. I know he's my favorite player in the whole NFL. And what you said was 100% bitch shit. We gonna call a bitch. We gonna call you out for doing bitch shit. You feel me? No matter who you are, right?
Yeah, I agree with that.
We gonna call you out, right? It don't matter who you are. I don't care if you're my brother. If you do some whole ass shit like what he did, I'm gonna call you out on it. If I do it, I'm gonna call myself out on it.
Yeah.
But I like what you did. That's how you hold people accountable. It don't matter if you're my favorite player, Muhammad Ali. You know what I mean? That's why we respect him, because he didn't do stuff like that. Am I wrong?
No, Muhammad Ali he talked shit, but that's part of the game. But he didn't do anything under the belt like that. No.
That's what was happening to him. He would be spit on. He would be called out of his name. Remember?
Yeah.
He wouldn't do the spitting.
Now he would take it.
Yes, and I think if he was a spitter, his whole legacy would be looked at different.
Well, yeah, he wouldn't have been. He had a lot to spit at, to be honest with you, but he was definitely. I knew you like that, but he had very good discipline. He left all his frustrations in the ring, and he kind of like beat your ass and talked to you like, my name is Muhammad. You feel me? Like, you know what I'm saying? My name is Muhammad, and you gonna tell me my name, or I'm gonna beat the shit out of you until you do. I love that about him. You know what I mean? He was very resilient. Muhammad Ali was a very, very good person. All right. I just didn't know a killer instinct could be such a kind person.
Right. The Ernie Terrell incident is fascinating because that shows you that there is a difference between business and emotion. He let the emotion take over the ass whooping. Would you agree? The Ernie Terrell.
You say Ernie let the ass whooping take over the business?
Because remember, he's calling him out of his name. So do you think he's looking for an advantage athletically
Yeah,
with calling the man out of his
yeah.
name,
That was
his original name?
yeah, that was more of a mental trying to get him out of, he just chose the wrong one to play them word games with. Some people fall out of character and they start swinging and doing things that they normally wouldn't do, because what he was trying to do was get in Muhammad Ali's head to make him get off his game plan. And it just didn't work with Ali. Ali was very mentally strong. He the Muslim, he was very, very headstrong. You know what I mean? And
Okay.
that name calling and that disrespect of the name and a lot, that just didn't do nothing to Ali.
So you saying if you play Michael Jordan 1-on-1, you saying trash talking will enhance the ass whooping that he's about to get.
On greatness, yeah. Muhammad Ali, yeah. Michael Jordan, yeah. These are guys that you best not talk trash to. You know what I mean? They're because they're unbelievably great at what they do. So, but they can talk to trash. I mean, it's just, everybody not meant, like, if you got an advantage, a physical advantage, CK, of something, you can maybe talk shit, and you might be able to get away with it because you probably have that advantage already, but you can't be less than these guys and they're great and you think trash talking is going to give you an advantage. I mean, it don't work like that. Towards greatness, it just doesn't. I've never seen it work in any sport.
So I would love to get your thoughts as a young man when you was watching Tupac spit into the cameras. What was your thoughts then?
I never seen Tupac spit in the camera, but I never really was a Tupac fan like that.
Hip hop.
Yeah, I'm not a Tupac. See, Tupac changed up. Tupac brought a couple records out that he was able to make everybody rethink him. But I think the Strictly for My NIGGA album and a few other albums and the Thug Life on the Chest and all that did a lot of damage. I've never really been a Tupac fan like that. I mean, he was kind of a hypocrite. And I know I'm gonna get some blowback.
Okay, hold on. Okay, now you being the man that you will be totally fair, be clear, and you just told me how you feel.
Yeah.
Tupac, and tell me if you agree with this statement. Tupac is to hip hop what Michael Jordan is to the NBA.
No.
Come on, man. The man been dead 30 years, man, and the little kids know what he is. Come on now. He the same thing as Michael Jordan. How do you even remember Michael Jordan and nobody even seen him play? The kids know who he is. How do you even know who Tupac is and nobody even heard his son? They know him already.
So
how many people from?
Wait a minute.
They don't know people from back then.
Are you basically saying that kids today think that Tupac is the best rapper? He used to be the best rapper alive.
Hold on, you tell me. I'm just saying.
You tell me, because I don't know that
okay,
kids.
My thoughts are they hold him in the same regard like these kids walking around with Jordans. They see Tupac, they walk around with Tupac. I love
think
Tupac.
so.
In his 30 years, he's been dead.
No, I think there's a difference between knowing the name of Tupac or knowing what Tupac was about. I mean, there's a difference. Tupac didn't change rap music like Michael Jordan changed the NBA. So no, I think Tupac had his lane. He was great at what he did, but that didn't make him one of the. To me, Tupac is not.
He is the face of the art form. Who is more popular than Tupac? You tell me. Wyatt live. You said there's a more popular hip hop artist than Tupac Shakur. Please explain.
You saying that? You saying
he's Michael Jordan?
Wait a minute. You're confusing me a little bit. You're saying that Tupac Shakur was the best rapper ever?
No, I'm saying he's the face you put with like Muhammad Ali, you put him with boxing, you put Jordan with basketball, you put Tupac Shakur with hip hop.
No.
Would you agree?
No, Michael Jordan did something different for basketball. He changed the sport of basketball. Muhammad Ali changed the sport of boxing. Tupac didn't change hip hop. Tupac went into
he did, sir.
Okay, in what kind of way? Tupac was already rapping the same way NWA and all the rest of the West Coast rappers was rapping. They all were saying pretty much the same stuff.
Sir, he sped up the
Look. Let me say this to you, because I don't want you and a few other people to think that I don't think that Tupac was great. I'm not saying he was, but I mean he had good cuts. But if y'all look at some of the albums that he did when it came down to the culture, he was bad for the culture. All right, but then it's just like NWA, who was like my favorite group back in the day. I would say the same thing about NWA.
But sir, you are contemplating your feelings with facts. The facts are they changed the whole game. NWA is what rap is today, sir.
But
They changed it to this gangster
you're
stuff,
changing
sir.
it. NWA is not Tupac. That was my whole point. Tupac was talking about the
He
stuff.
is the child of them, right? He's a branch of their tree.
So how did he change the game? How did he change the game? He got into the game that was already made, and he just stayed the course. All right.
And
now the
sir,
difference
we're
between
talking about a guy that put himself bigger than anybody. He's on the same level of in his art form of a Whitney Houston, of a Bob Marley, of a Sam Cooke.
Let me tell you what Tupac did. Okay, he changed for the better toward the end, because I think the brother realized. I think when his mother got in his ear, and people like Jay, there were some people, some influential people in his life that finally got in his ear, and they really made him understand the influence that he had and the power that he had and how he could change lives. That's what I love about Tupac. At least he listened, and he did shift. He went and did Brenda's Got a Baby Boy. He went and said, Dear Mama. That's all late in his career. If you think about the shit that he was doing before that, it was almost like he was trying to tell dudes, fuck hoes, fuck bitches, and this and this and that, have babies, blah,
sir,
blah, blah.
He's a young man trying to learn, and
you're
like the rest of us. Stop putting all this 50-year-old stuff on a 20-year-old mind, sir.
You're not listening.
He's a kid learning just like us, sir.
No, you're not listening. What I'm saying to you is, this is what makes a person a hypocrite. If I sit back and I tell you, man, go out there and get as much ass as you want, have as many kids as you want, F these girls, they'll figure the shit out. And then I come out with the next album and I'm saying Brenda got a baby girl or baby boy, and these guys ain't taking care of their kids, and we need to, Dear Mama, and nobody like you, Mama, you raised me by yourself, Mama. But yet you set the tone, you set the precedent of these women being out here with babies by themselves and on one album. Then you tell us on the next album we need, thank you for being the single mother and all that. Bro, it's just, if you go back and listen to it,
that's hold on. That's the beauty.
That's not beauty, brother.
Beauty.
If he would have started,
the art form is he's telling you we're all hypocrites. Stop acting like you the perfect one. No, you just as fucked up as him. That's what he's telling you.
No,
I'm just saying.
No, it's
You're
not.
putting too much on a guy that is telling you I'm just like you. I make mistakes just like you.
That ain't what his albums were saying, bro.
No, he's telling just like a human being, sir. Nobody thinks one way all the time. Life, you can have
man, thank you for calling in, man. I ain't on this shit today.
What you
I ain't on this shit today. I ain't about to tongue wrestle with you motherfuckers today. I'm trying to tell you that the dude was a hypocrite. That don't mean that I didn't think.
But I'm saying why you can't respect another motherfucking opinion. That's all.
Nah, bro, you know I respect your opinion. You know
that's what you talk that. That's what we have conversations for.
Don't do that. What I'm saying to you.
That's what I'm saying. You can't accept another nigga opinion.
Yes, you just keep saying. CK, calm down. All I'm saying to you is this, and I know I started off the rail. My bad. My apologies to you, brother. But all I'm saying to you is this. I just thought there was some hypocrisy there. That's all. I'm just saying.
Where is there not hypocrisy, sir? That's where you sound crazy.
No,
everybody
I can name a bunch of groups from the 90s that were not hypocritical. I can name a lot of groups that just didn't make it.
Listen, if I'm the preacher, that's why they say don't blame the messenger. I'm giving you a message. Don't look at me. Look at the fucking message I'm telling you. You're looking at the fucking person. That's what's wrong with Americans.
No, I'm listening to the messages, brother. I'm not looking at.
So don't listen to the messenger. If the message I'm giving you is correct, what the fuck my life got to do with what I'm telling you? That's your problem. You're looking at, well, why you doing it? Why he's learning.
Why are you taking it personal?
One day you could be a Republican, one day you could be a Democrat. It switches, sir. It switches. People switch in life.
CK, nothing on here that we talking about right now is personal. Not towards you, not towards Tupac, not towards me. I'm just telling you. Look, and here's the thing, bro. There's people on the chat on your side. I'm not sitting here trying
to have a name one hip hop artist more bigger than him. Just give me that. Who? Jay-Z been breathing the whole time he been dead, and Tupac is right there with him. Please explain. If he just a regular guy, I'm just saying he put his in iconic.
Hold on. You wait a minute. Hold on. You said that I can't give you a hip hop artist that's bigger than Tupac?
I want to hear. I want to hear this, please.
When you say bigger, let's just be clear. What do you mean bigger? More influence or
Name.
bigger records?
Who I think more people know his name. Like he's like a Bob Marley. He's like a Sam Cooke. He's like a Michael Jackson. He's on that. He put himself up there. When you talk about hip hop, you have to bring above his name. Just like when you talk about
Do they
boxing,
have
you
to
got
be
talk
dead
about
or
Muhammad
alive?
Ali.
Do they have to be dead or alive?
Yeah, I'm saying he's just as famous as the alive guy.
Because
That's
you
my
know
point.
sometimes being dead makes you more famous. You do know that. So that's kind of a
Right.
false equivalent. You feel what I'm saying to you? If Tupac was still alive today, you don't know what he would be talking about. But let's
My
just
dudes. Okay, go ahead.
but now I'm just going to give you a name or two. Do you think that Ice Cube is more famous or more a bigger name than Tupac was?
That's a great name, and
Yeah, I know it is.
go even.
I can give you a few more. I can give you a few more.
I think he's right on par, but I think that's a guy that's here today.
But that's what I was trying to say to you.
That's what I'm saying. So he's showing you if he died 30 years ago and he's getting compared to a movie star of today, that shows you how powerful Tupac was. That's
You comparing him. The world ain't comparing him. This
superstar.
is your equivalent. This is your comparison. Look, what I don't see, I don't hear a lot of different little bitty young kids, 13, 14, 15-year-olds. I don't see them talking about Tupac. I mean, maybe I'm missing something because I'm far removed from the hip hop era. Tupac, when we was growing up, we wore t-shirts. I didn't, but people wore t-shirts. They mimicked him. They got tattoos and all that old stuff like what he did, right? But I don't see them doing that today. I don't think that Tupac is as big as you think he is. He is for us, but like he's not the Michael Jordan. You still have people in the NBA and coming up through college that are mimicking the things that Tupac did. I mean, excuse me, that Michael Jordan did. I don't see anybody in the hip hop era doing what Tupac did. I don't see that right now.
Now you just backed yourself in the corner. I'm about to prove you wrong.
Okay, maybe so. Go ahead.
Today, when these hip hop artists come out, young kids, they're the next Tupac. They still compare the next, just like since Jordan retired, they've been trying to be the next Jordan. Now it's LeBron. Now there's not, oh, I'm gonna be the next Ice Cube. Oh, I'm gonna be the next Nas. They said I'm gonna be the next Tupac now.
Okay.
That's what I'm saying. That's phenomenal. You don't hear kids saying I'm gonna be the next Dominique Wilkins.
Okay.
Right?
You know what? You know what I'm doing right now, CK? I'm waving to your corner because they gotta throw this towel in because I'm about to knock you out and you don't have no guard up. Okay. I'm about to knock you out and you don't have a guard. So I'm waving to your corner right now to throw that towel in. All right. You ready for it?
I'm ready for you, buddy.
You ready? Brace yourself. Brace yourself. When you look at hip hop today, you look at the NBA today, who are their person that they say is the greatest of all times? I'm talking about today's game of NBA and today's hip hop. When you look at today's NBA, who do they say is the greatest of all time?
Oh, right now, you talking about LeBron?
LeBron James, right?
Right.
Who is the hip hop LeBron James? No.
Jay-Z.
Jay-Z, okay? Is Jay-Z anything like Tupac? Yes or no? Yes or no?
Yes.
Coach, come get this motherfucker. He about to pass out. Wait a minute. You said yes? Is Jay-Z anything like Tupac? Yes or no?
Yeah, different ideology.
Exactly. They're not the same, right? But now is LeBron James like Michael Jordan? And who did LeBron James look up to be who he is? And what style basketball put him in the NBA? What number did he wear? And who did he want to be like when he was growing up?
MJ Jordan.
Okay, so you just proved my point, brother, and you said it to yourself. You said it out loud. My point was Michael Jordan being the greatest and the GOAT of the NBA, right? His predecessor, if you want to call it, is LeBron James. You can't say the same thing about hip hop and Tupac. You can't say that the next little young dude that's coming out or who's been in hip hop for 20 years is anything like Tupac Shakur. You can't say that. So Tupac did not change hip hop like Michael Jordan changed the NBA.
Sir, hold on. I got you.
Conversation is over.
Young boy.
Come pick his ass up. Come pick him up. Coach,
hey,
come get him.
Okay. The NBA young boy, he running hip hop right now.
He's no
He has
he's no
Tupac in him. He's
no.
running the
Come
hip
on,
hop industry.
bro. Come on, bro.
I was just saying, he's a 23-year-old kid. Tupac was dead 10 years before he was born.
Okay.
But when they talk about him, the guy that's number one, they say the Tupac of this generation. That's what they say. They don't say the Ice Cube of this generation. They don't say the Jay-Z of this generation. They say the Tupac Shakur of this generation in 2025. I think you might have lost this one.
Okay.
I think you might have lost with
All right, we'll let the people judge. Let's move on.
Man, this was a good debate, though.
Yeah,
this was a good debate. I appreciate
now,
you.
I tell you what,
brother.
here's a good one, and it's on your side. Who is this? Sierra says, Kendrick says, and I think she means Kendrick Lamar, says that Tupac was an influence on him. Let me tell you why, Sierra.
Thank you.
No. Let me tell you why. Because Tupac was a West Coast rapper, and if you look at Kendrick Lamar's team and his production, they're all Tupac people. Dre and all the other people. They all have Tupac affiliation. So of course he's gonna say that Tupac is an influence on him. He comes from the production line of Tupac. So that's kind of not really fair. If he would probably say that Dr. Dre and Ice Cube are too. But to just say that Tupac didn't play an influence in his career would be crazy when you're using the same producers and some of the people that were in his camp. That's just my breakdown of it.
And Wyatt, what makes
good
this
point,
debate
though, Sierra. Good point,
Wyatt. But remember, Wyatt, what makes this debate so eloquent is look at your competition you put up. You put Ice Cube, you put Jay-Z. I think you're proving my point because you comparing him to the big dogs today.
All I need to do.
He's been gone. He's been gone. They've been breathing the whole time.
No, we sitting here. Our 50-year-old asses are comparing him to people today. I don't think kids that listen to hip hop in 2025 say anything about Tupac.
That's where your grace, you're not coming in where I know the music game better than you.
Okay, and I'll give you that. Maybe you would
the young shit, so I know what's in their brains.
Okay.
You don't even know what the young kids thinking.
Well,
so
I know.
You don't know what you're speaking on stuff you don't know about.
That's not necessarily true. The reason why I don't listen to the hip hop is because I hear the shit that's going on in their brains. That's why I don't listen to it. What the fuck? I mean, that ain't hard to tell. I could listen to a rap song today and it just be the instrumental. Because I love the production, but the lyrics ain't talking about nothing. Tupac was at least talking about something.
The Tupac influence. They tell Eminem came right after Tupac. He got Tupac all in his DNA. Eminem, that's why he's so great.
Eminem been out 20-something years. What are you talking about? He know him. He listened to Tupac. We talking about children. We talking about today's era.
But I'm saying, look at how many kids that Eminem influenced, sir. So if he's telling you, I'm influenced by Tupac, and then you got a little white kid telling you Eminem the greatest, they still knowing about Tupac.
Once again,
he influenced the greatest.
Once again, Eminem is from the same production camp as Tupac. Y'all getting it confused.
So, sir, his fans is kids. So he got millions of fans. His fans, kids, listen to Eminem say, "I've been influenced by Tupac." So it never ends. If the greatest is saying that Tupac is the greatest, you can't quit it.
So you telling me if I call, and I don't know, maybe one of my friends' grandkids or some shit. If I call somebody that might be 22 or 23 years old and they listening to this shit that they bumping in the clubs and got loud in their car right now, if I call one of them right now and I ask them what their favorite Tupac song is, they'll have one.
Yeah, that's a good one. That's a good one.
But now, hold on. I can call that same kid today, that 22 or 23-year-old, and chances are he wearing Jordans.
Mm-hmm.
Shut up, man. Get up off the phone. We'll holler at you.
You closed it out good.
Yeah, I know. I generally try to close my opponent out at the end. You know, like, I let them
show me my opponent.
I'm just
like that,
okay?
brother.
Hey, ain't nothing but love, though, brother. Look, I like Tupac. I just didn't love him. I like his. I love his mission, though. I love what he turned out to be. I didn't like the young, do whatever I got to do, thug life ass Tupac. That wasn't my guy. Strictly for my NIG was one of my favorite albums when I was young and dumb and didn't know any better. That was one of the best albums that I thought of 30 years ago.
Man, let me tell you the greatest lesson Tupac taught all of us as men in America. Don't run up punching people in the face that you don't know. Matter of fact, don't run and punch nobody in the face because you might just get your life took that night.
Yeah,
Am I lying, Wyatt?
No, that's a great point. That's the only thing that you said that was true the whole time on this.
Hey man, much love to
Nothing
the
but
family,
love,
man. I'm
brother.
gonna
I
listen
was
to your
just messing.
platform. I'm about to get this paper, man. I'm off today, but I'm gonna go in and get that overtime because I'm inspired by the Wyatt Live.
All
I'm
right,
gonna try
brother.
to get that
Appreciate you,
paper
man.
for
Get
the
that. Hey,
holiday,
get
man.
that
Thank
overtime, man. Make that overtime count. Make that
Appreciate
overtime,
you,
double
man.
that overtime money up. You know what I mean?
Hell yeah.
All right, brother.
To give up the drugs. Tell the kids don't do drugs, man. Hell yeah.
Okay.
Thank you, brother.
All right, brother. Talk
Yes,
to you
sir.
soon. That's CK. Thanks for engaging, CK. The phone was ringing. Let's see what we got here. Let me go to the next call, and then I'll get into what we're talking about. Good afternoon, caller. This is Wyatt. Who am I speaking with?
Oh damn! I thought y'all was talking about Tupac. What y'all talking about? I just turned on and heard y'all talking about Tupac.
No. Go ahead. You can finish it out. You can finish it out. I'm not tripping. I mean, I wasn't talking about hip hop today.
Tupac was a sissy.
He
was
what?
a shape-shifting sis. He was a sissy.
Okay, I don't know about
Did you
all
not
that.
see? Have you not seen that video of him? He's like 17 years old in high school still. He's, with the dyed hair, looking like a punk.
Hold on. You talking about the background singer. I mean, the background dancer Tupac. The Digital Underground.
He was in high school at the time. He was in high school at the time.
Yeah. I ain't gonna lie. A lot of guys in my high school had that little haircut. I never dyed my hair.
But did they have his voice tone and diction? My name is Tupac Amiro Shakur.
Nah.
Sounded like a straight up punk.
Nah, I hear you.
How do you go from that to the world's biggest gangster in 2 years?
That's what I was trying to tell people, Fame. I'm just being honest about what I know about the music. I listen to Gangsta Thug, Thug Life. I listen to all that shit. I was with it. I heard it. But as I get older, I'm like, damn, that's kind of hypocritical. This dude ain't even from that. He left B-more. He, just because you poured on me, you a street dude. Just because you eating government cheese and, and butter, bread and butter don't make you a street dude. That don't mean that he couldn't talk about, but you wasn't really that. It's like me rapping about being a world champion fighter because of what I see versus what I feel in there. You feel what I'm saying, bro? It's the same shit.
Exactly. He went to school to Baltimore's version of performing arts.
Exactly. He in school with people like what's her name? Will Smith's
He in
wife.
He in school with people like Leroy from Fame. He in school with people like Cisco from Drew Hill from Baltimore.
People don't understand, Fame, that a lot of these up until today. That's why a lot of these real rappers who talk about that shit go to jail because they sitting there, they so stupid. They talk about their crimes, put it on tape, and put it out there for the world to hear so they can get arrested. But back in the day, Ice Cube ain't from the streets. These dudes are from the suburbs, bruh.
Oh yeah, I did an interview with a guy who went to school with Ice Cube. Or he didn't go to school with him, but he knew him growing up because he went to school with Yella. And he said none of them dudes was like none of that, except MC Ren. He said none of them dudes was like none of that.
MC Ren was a street dude. I ain't gonna lie. Him and Easy.
Right.
And Easy, they really were street guys. But the ones who really made them famous and made them big and all that, nah. Everybody, look, it was crazy because the only ones that wrote was MC Ren and Ice Cube. They wrote their gangsters. Yeah, well, DLC was from Texas. He got in with them later. They were already famous. You know what I'm saying? He was with them, but they weren't famous yet. You know what I'm saying? Then once they became famous, DOC was a dog though, but he was a Texas dog. He was a dude that talked that Texas shit. I love DOC, but he wasn't really like that a gangster either though. You know what I mean? DOC was more of he was a rapper. Okay, DOC rapped to Dre beats. He wasn't really if you listen to his albums, he wasn't really a gangster. He talked some street shit, but he wasn't no gangster. You can tell that Easy and them was, you could tell that Easy was a street dude.
Ice Cube grew up with his mom and dad in a working class family in the Valley.
Yeah.
And that's why he left that's why he was smart enough to leave NWA, realizing, the contract situation wasn't right because he had parental guidance. Yeah. Proper parental guidance.
Yeah. He didn't have He didn't have to do it on his own. Let's just say that he did have some good influence in his life. He had a mother and a father, and he had, believe it or not, he had friends that were in college. You know what I mean? That were buddies of his from high school. They went off to college.
Exactly.
So he had a different type of influence. You know what I mean? He did, but at the same time, you look at somebody like Tupac. You remember Tupac fame. You remember his first albums of, Thug Life and tattoos on all over. And he was like representing hood and all that old shit, but he wasn't about that. He wasn't that life, bro. He wasn't a gangster till he got with Suge Knight. And that was his last go round.
And he was just talking too greasy, like for a 145-pound man who ain't a boxer. You know what I'm saying? He was talking way too much greasy for me.
Yeah.
And it looks like somebody might have set him up when he got, when he went and punched the killer.
Oh, you talking about that in Vegas thing?
Yeah. That to me that looked to be set up. But I talked to that cop. I interviewed him. He said it wasn't blah blah, but he's got to stick with his findings, to keep his story of the last 15 years accurate.
Well, let me ask you something, Fame. Let me ask you this. You might know this, and isn't there a guy locked up right now because of that was involved in the Tupac murder?
Yeah, there's what's his name? TVD.
Yeah.
Dwayne Davis.
Yeah, he got the information of where the hit came from and all that. I would think that it was gang related, to be honest with you, because they were snatching gold chains and all that type of stuff off of one another. And and Tupac hit the wrong guy. He hit a guy that they going to retaliate. And
he punched a killer. He brought hands to a killer. That dude was known for, kicking up dust. Like they was like 2 open murders involving him at the time he shot Tupac.
Yeah. Well, that's what happens when you play with them dudes and you don't know what you're playing with.
Right, that's how he wasn't in the streets, because he would have known
he would have known
environment.
Yeah, he would have known not to do that type of shit like that.
He was such a as a kid, moving from born in New York, moved to Baltimore, Oakland. He was just looking for a home.
Yeah, but you can tell how he got. You could tell, Fame. Excuse me, I'm sorry, bro. You could tell how he was heavily influenced. That he wasn't as much of a leader as his music put him out as being. He kind of like was a follower. He's like a lot of guys that I know in a particular industry that I'd rather not mention. You think that they hard asses because of what they do, but when the camera's not running, they really soft as hell, bro. You hear what I'm saying to you? They really are led by easily like bad people that can easily influence them. And that's why you see them running around doing dumb shit. Because they end up with these circles that that are easily influencing them, and we looking at them from a large scale because they're on TV or they're in videos and this and this and that, and we think that they're smart and they're bigger than life, and a lot of them are nowhere near what you think. A lot of them, Fame, I'm gonna be honest with you. I'm gonna say this, and you can have the floor. A lot of them go to city, and a lot of them get in some shit and get robbed at the clubs. They hotel rooms get hit because gangsters don't really respect entertainers and shit. They easy marks for them. They really easy marks.
Absolutely. I'll just say this in closing on the Tupac thing. I thought this was hysterical though when he did the California Love video, with Dre and Chris Tucker. They said that Chris Tucker came up to him like, "Man, why you tell your mama business?" Talking about that Dear Mama song. I started dying laughing at the story.
I think Dear Mama was a great song. It really was a great song. It was one of my favorite songs. But I think, Fame, do you understand what I was saying when I said that before the Dear Mama song, he was telling dudes F the bitches and the hoes and all that, and he was almost making it like popular to be a street dude and being disrespectful and nasty to women. And then
let that little 16-year-old girl get raped.
Yeah, and then that's what creates the Dear Mamas. We lost Fame. I hope that wasn't my phone. It sounded like he hung up though. But that's what creates the baby mamas. That's exactly. I think that's Fame. That's you back, bro.
Yeah, my bad.
Okay,
my bad.
No, that's okay. But Fame, what I was saying is that's exactly those type of songs and that type of influence is what creates the baby mamas.
Right.
And then you come out with some songs, talking about Dear Mama. thanks for being great and all that, but you kind of influence that that type of shit, and now you want to be a Superman. It's almost like a person. It's almost like a guy setting the building on fire and then running in to try to save people. You know, he set the building on fire. He go in and save people, and now the news media all in his face like he's Superman.
Indeed. But now, what were you going to talk about?
Well, I talked
what was
about
your main subject?
Today. I wanted to talk about the 50-year mortgage. Did you hear the question that I asked?
No, I didn't. I had turned in and heard dude talking about Tupac, and I just got pissed. I'm like, this is another middle-aged man who likes this. I'm like, how do you like Tupac? Like, I never got it. Like, I haven't. Anyway, go ahead.
I like Tupac in our day of him being, Tupac.
Right.
When I look back as a grown man, just like I do a lot of, influential rappers that are of our time, I don't think that, they were doing exactly what the rappers of today are doing. They just really they're getting paid off of marketing the bullshit, and we're actually really acceptive of that behavior, and it becomes part of the culture, and we normalize it. And I think that it's bad for the culture, for us. Now, I will say that I'm part of the problem, because when I was younger, I didn't know any better. You feel me? I didn't know any better, but I know better now. And I don't feel bad saying what I'm saying. I don't think that Tupac was a bad guy. I just think he did bad shit to make a living and do what he needed to do to, be popular and all of that. That's it.
I agree. And as far as the 50-year mortgage, I got to be honest with you, it's not my cup of tea. Mm-hmm. But then again, our condo paid for.
Okay.
So, but a 50-year mortgage, I mean, even if you buy the house at 25, you'll be paying 14 to 75 if you make it then.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying? So it just don't seem like it would be very smart to do, but I'm not going to tell nobody how to spend their money. If that was your dream to own a house, and that's how you got to pull it off, then hey, God love you.
Yeah, but hey, Fame, can I pose to you the question that we asked at the beginning of the show? I would love to hear your answer. My question was, what's the difference from a person taking a 50-year mortgage out versus someone that's been paying rent for 50 years?
What's the difference? If you've been paying rent for 50 years, then you got other problems.
I use my grandmother. My grandmother paid rent, and she did tell me before her death, she was like, I really wish, she seen what I was doing with my portfolio, but she had mentioned it to me years prior to her passing. She said, the one thing that I wish I would have done in my life is buy a house, buy some property. And I remembered that as a young guy. So, my grandmother would give me these little gems. But that being said, she rented for 50 plus years. Even from public housing all the way up to once she got out of public housing, she was still renting. So my question that I posed was, what's the difference from someone paying a mortgage for 50 years or someone paying rent for 50 years? I mean, what's the difference between the two?
I mean, I guess there is no difference, but at the same time, of the ownership aspect of it, at least you'll get to be an owner again if you live long enough. But it just doesn't seem like a good venture from my vantage point. Just from reading on the outside, I never looked into it. I see you talking about it last week and looked into it, and it was just like, I got like 3 paragraphs down. I was like, yeah, this ain't for me.
Yeah.
So I'll leave it for somebody else who got to deal with it.
Yeah. But if you look at today's rents, aren't rents like shit? They're sky high.
They're astronomical.
Yeah, they're sky high. So I would look at the fact that, you're probably going to get more money, more place for your money on a 50-year mortgage. It sounds like I'm pumping it, but I'm really not. I'm just saying. And here's the other thing that I want a lot of people to understand, and I'll get more in depth into this. I don't think that most people that take their first mortgage out or even their second mortgage, most people don't stay in those homes and pay them off. Most people end up moving with equity and get into something bigger or better. And just because you take a 50-year mortgage doesn't necessarily mean you have to stay in it 50 years. You may take a 50-year mortgage and get to be honest with you, if you get if you get a $300,000 house, a 50-year mortgage, you can get a $500,000 house for the price of a $300,000 house. You see what I'm saying? A lot of people get this mortgage, like this interest thing mixed up. Nobody's paying attention to the interest until now. The worst thing you can do as a homeowner, and a lot of y'all do it anyway, is take a 30-year mortgage out. Most people don't live in their house 30 years. You're not even paying toward the principal for the first 20 years of a 30-year mortgage. That's why I've never gone over 24 years on my mortgages. Fame, you got a lot of noise in the background, bro.
Yeah, I'm in Kroger, man. So yeah, just I'm gonna leave it there with you.
Okay.
It ain't my cup of tea. I wouldn't do it, but hey, if you gotta do it, and if that's your thing, you want to be an owner, and God love you, go for it. But I would never, because I don't know many people who've been around long enough who will be around long enough to own 2 houses. So,
well,
but hey, that's just me. You do you. But yeah, I did that Tupac shit. I just heard that and just jumped. Like I almost wrecked on 126. But I'll holler at you because, like I said, I'm in Kroger. Got to get dinner for the night.
Okay, brother.
It's been real. I had fun. We'll chat again someday soon.
All right, Fame. That was Fame. Fame, thanks for engaging with us. I don't know if there's a right or a wrong answer here. I'm just going to be honest with you. I'm not an advocate for 30-year mortgages. So, I'm not going to pump a 50. But I understand it. Okay, I understand. It all depends on what you're getting in it for. If you keep your same budget, like, okay, my pocket calls for, they told me I qualify for $300,000 on a home. My mortgage is going to be, I don't know, $2,000 a month. And I don't know, $1,700. Let's just round it to $2,000. But yet I go, and that's on 30 years. And then if I go 50 years, that same $300,000 mortgage payment is going to be somewhere in the realms of about $1,500. You're talking about a $500 a month difference. For me, that's not enough. But if you really look at it, if I qualify for $300,000, my mortgage payment, but I go with a 50-year loan and I can get a $700,000 home or $800,000 home for the same price that I would be paying for a $300,000 home, that person might do that. You see what I'm saying? For me, I've never bought a house to be able to pay it off. I've only bought it, and this is going to probably not sit well with a lot of people, but some brokers understand my position on this. I only buy property for the equity. It doesn't make any sense for me to buy a piece of property and think that I'm in an equitable position once it's paid off. I want to walk in the door with equity. You see what I'm saying? A 50-year mortgage is going to absorb all your equity as far as I'm concerned. You see what I'm saying? So that's why it's best to go as low as possible of a term. Now, a greedy person, a person that, let me give you a perfect example. You walk into a car dealership and you see this great sports car on the showroom floor, and you're not even there for a sports car. Okay. Basically, what you're doing is you're going in there, you see something. Okay. Amber says, come on now. Real estate investors understand this. Yeah. I'm not talking to everybody, Amber. I mean, I'm talking to everybody, but some people don't understand how this thing would go. It sounds slick, but it all depends on the person's mentality. Like listen to this analogy. If you go into a car dealership and you have a budget of $300 say you have a budget, let's be realistic. Say you have a budget of $500 a month, but the car that you then test drove and you love and this and this and that, they say, well, this one is $700 a month. It's out of your budget, the one that you really like. But then the salesmen do what they normally do, and they try to shift you to a different vehicle, one maybe a little bit cheaper. Or what's the number one thing they come up if they can't sell you a cheaper car? Who got that answer? They come up with creative financing. Come on now. Creative financing means I can get what I want as much as I want for a cheaper price and be closer to my budget. So what is creative financing? Leasing. Okay. So what they'll do is they'll get you into that car for $500 a month. Your payment, that car that you leased would probably be $900 a month, but they put you on a 3-year term or a 60-month term on a lease and get you at your payment. See, it's a mentality thing. Do I want to do what's equitable for me and my family, or do I want to do what's best for me and how I'm going to show out and how I'm going to look? A 50-year mortgage can go the same way. Basically, you can say, man, I can get $1 million house. I can actually get $1 million house and have me a normal mortgage payment. I can have a mortgage payment of a $500,000 house or a $400,000 house and get $1 million house. It's all it's all about what you are and who you are as an individual. You see what I'm saying? So you got to be careful with stuff like that. The world, not world, America is a capitalist country. So they're always looking for ways to do creative financing, and those creative financing ways always benefit the sellers. It always benefit the financial institutions that are loaning you the money. They always benefit more on alternative finance programs. Now, if you really look at how much it is to lease versus buy, some people would say it doesn't make any sense. I told my daughter, who's going to be turning 25 in December. I said, babe, your first car that you get on your own, listen, you're 25, you'll be 25 years old. Not my pass me downs or anything like that, but your first car with your job and doing what you're doing, it's nothing wrong with leasing, because you're never going to keep a car long enough. If a kid buy a car at 25 years old and pay it off in 5 years, you really think a 30-year-old is really wanting to keep a car that's 6 years or 7 years old at that time? Usually they don't. Cars are changing every year. New body styles coming out every year. They always want the latest in the new technology. So most people, not us older people, because it's a mentality thing. Most young people will have a car payment their entire life because they're not cool with driving a 10-year-old banger and they getting up and working every day, making $70,000, $80,000, $90,000 a year, some making $100,000. They're not going to drive, a 10-year-old car. They're just not going to do it. It's outdated. It don't look the same. They want a profile. They want to be cool. All the things that come with that mentality. Now, a 50-year-old or a 50-year-old plus, I can't speak for everybody, but some of us are more content. We're okay. We're okay driving a car that's 10 years old. We don't have to have the one with the motherfucking heated or the cool down what do you call it, the cup holster that you click the button and it keep everything cold and all that old shit. Nah, I just put ice in mine. See what I'm saying? It's a mentality thing. Some people would want, some people, think of it like this. If I can get a 50-year mortgage on a 10-unit apartment building, maybe I'm buying it not for me to pay off. Maybe I'm buying it in my children. Legacy move. There's a lot of different ways of looking at it, because now I can afford a $1.5 million apartment building on a 50-year mortgage. And it's not something that I plan on paying off myself. The tenants are paying for it. I'm using the savings. I'm investing the money on the offside. It's so many different ways of looking at it. I mean, me personally, personally, I would never, because I've already been through I got to have a big house. I got to have this. I got to do this. I've already been there, folks. My mentality is not there. But for a younger person, I get it, but I wouldn't recommend it. I mean, I've never taken a mortgage out over 24 months. I've known better, 24 years. Most times 15 is where I need to be. If I can't afford it in a 15-year mortgage, I mean, if I can't afford that payment, then it's not for me. You see what I'm saying? And generally, when you do 15 years, you try to get it done in 12. And there's ways you can do that just by adding to the principal. I would always pay myself a bonus at the end of the year. My bonus check was not to go get rims. My bonus check was not to get this new whatever. My bonus checks that I paid myself every year went toward the principal of my loan, my mortgages. So if I can get it done in 10 years, look at that. I mean, that was my goal. I didn't have to have the brand new car. We didn't have to eat out every night. There's just a whole lot of different. It's a mentality thing. It's where are you? Can I see a 50-year mortgage working out for somebody? For investors, I can. For people that want to invest in property, I could see that. Now, I don't know because I haven't looked into it. I don't know if this is just for single family homes. I don't know what the situation is with, what are the stipulations on a 50-year mortgage? Can you not buy investment property? I don't know. But just going over it and thinking about it, look, if I can buy a high-rise apartment building with 50 units in it and finance it for 50 years, I'd probably do it because the interest it wouldn't really matter to me because I'm not paying for it. The tenants are paying for it. And it's something that I can always borrow money against. There's just so much, there's just so much I can get there. And most times, whatever the property value is, you can borrow up to 70%. So there's just so many things that, the equity at the beginning may not be there, but the value of the property is there. You see what I'm saying? That's sometimes just as strong as the equity itself, because the banks will allow you 70% of the value of the property to be able to, to borrow against. Sometimes you have to, and I hate to say it this way, it's gonna sound crazy. Sometimes you have to steal your equity up front. You steal that 70%, and 70 is the minimum. Sometimes they'll give you, if your credit is good and you got a line of credit with the mortgage or with the banks, sometimes they'll give you 120% of the value of the property. Brandon Manningfield, what's up, brother? What's up, nephew? All right, let me go to the phone lines before I get up out of here. Excuse me. Good afternoon, caller. This is Wyatt. Who am I speaking with?
Yeah, what up, fam?
Hey, what's going on, twin? How you doing today?
Hold on. I'm gonna give y'all speak. Hey, you hear me?
Yes. What's good with you today, brother?
I can't call it. 4 tires on the black Cadillac. Let's ride.
You're not wearing them on your shoes, are you?
Huh?
You don't have them Cadillac emblems on your shoes, do you?
No, my brother came out with the money green, man. He said he's about to shine on PK. I said, man, you sick. He found some money green, Wyatt. I said, this nigga sick, man.
Oh my goodness, money green. All right. Did y'all do something special to be wearing, the...
Well, I'm thinking about going to the Pimps Up, Hoes Down Players Convention.
Pimps Up, Hoes Down.
Yeah.
Okay. Where's
Don
that?
Juan, man. It's the 50th anniversary.
Where is
Players
that?
Ball in Chicago.
Oh, okay.
Where it originally started.
There's a guy in Cincinnati, Don Juan, for sure. I know him. We're pretty cool.
No. That's
and
Don
I got
Juan
a little
here.
I got a little
the
confused.
Stereo guy, the radio guy. Now we talking about the bishop. We tell the Bishop Don Juan, the real bishop.
Yeah. Okay.
That's the radio guy.
So you thinking of going to shot? Is it this weekend?
No, it's December 6th. It's between the 5th through the 7th in Chicago. I'm thinking about going. I know my brother going. He telling, man, I got my money green ready. I said, go ahead.
Okay. Well, I mean, all right. I remember seeing them on TV. Like, I remember watching the documentaries on that type of stuff. Not really my cup of tea, but I get it.
No, it's it's real loud.
Okay.
There ain't nobody. I mean, grown folks, and they back then they used to honor, from Pimpin' Ken and all them.
Boy,
from Atlanta to Detroit and all them, they give honor and stuff. So honor is due. So if you go to the documentary up, you understand what I was establishing all that.
Okay.
For the pimps and stuff. So can't never knock the game, man.
Okay.
Whatever, just go out of rules. So
okay.
Yeah.
I ain't mad at that.
50-year mortgage. My God.
Yeah, I mean, it's a long time.
I remember like 25, 30-year mortgage at 50 years. That's cutting it, man.
Yeah,
I get it. A pack of
I mean, it's a long time, but I don't know if people would utilize. I'm not a fan of it, twin. I don't know if people would utilize it right. I think people would be. I think people would probably take it. I think. Let me start over.
Hey, when you think, if you think about it, say you go to a car lot, right? Why?
Okay.
And that car is worth, and your ass is worth 3,000. But you going to the dealer, now they got a double of it's worth 6,000. So that's how I feel like I'm paid this house off 100,000. By the time you 50-year mortgage from 100,000, you probably be paying like 300,000 maybe. Something like that and some change. I don't know why. That's a long time.
Yeah,
So
I
you
mean,
like, oh, let me refinance my house or let me pull out a mortgage. You know, pull out a lot of mortgage off a 50-year loan, a 50-year mortgage, man. I mean, I don't know why. That's a long
well,
time.
let me
if
ask you. Let
look
me
at it.
pose the question to you, Twin. I don't know if you heard the question when we first started today, but what's the difference between a person who has a 50-year mortgage and a person that pays rent for 50 years?
Ooh, why? Hey, you
Uh,
can call me dumb now, but that's don't sound like question. I don't know, man.
it sound
That's
what?
hard to. That's hard to answer. I think you, to be honest, I'll say you paying rent for 50 years and 50, you don't pay your rent and you should have a house for that long. You saying 50 times what? 50 times seven? I mean 50 times let's say, shoot, hey, what my numbers at? I don't know, I'm off with this one. Let's say 7,500 times 50, that's about what? 35,000, something like that.
That's
350,000. I don't know.
350,000.
350,000, something like that.
Mm-hmm.
So you don't pay that much and living in that apartment or whatever that you could have, had a house 3 times that value. Could have been owning $300,000 homes if you paying that $50,000 rent that
Well, let
long.
me break it down to you. How you say it? Break it down dummy style, right?
Dummy times.
Dummy terms. Okay, let me just ask you this. If you go to the bank today and they say you
Mm,
qualify and you qualify for based on your income and everything, you qualify for a $300,000 house. And that payment on 30 years, on a 30-year 30-year loan, fixed loan, that payment on a 300,000, let's just say for 30 years is, let's say it's 1,700 a month. Okay. Now you go to the bank and they tell you your payment will be 1,700 a month, nice house, nice community, the whole nine, 30 years. But then they tell you, okay, or you can go get a house that's 500, no, excuse me, that's 750. Okay. And you can get that house for damn near the same payment that you would the house that was 300,000. Instead of paying 17, you're now paying like 19, but you're getting a house that's damn near, 300,000 more.
mhm.
Okay, so what would you do? Would you pay the extra $200 and go 50 years more on the mortgage to go to a nicer neighborhood and better school system? Because homes are built based on the retail price.
Yeah,
Those school districts are a little bit better as well.
yeah,
The more you pay for your home, in
yeah,
most cases, not in all, but in most, the school districts do a little bit better. So you
yeah.
got to look at your kids. You got to look at a lot of different things. Nicer, well, more kept communities. The higher the price is on the property, the better the community usually is in most cases.
Yeah,
So what would you do, Twin, if you was going to pay $1,700 a month for a $300,000 home, or you can go get a $700,000 home for $1,900, $200 more a month, and you go get a house that's damn near double what you're
I
paying.
think the I think the beat out will be the 1900.
Okay, so you would take the 1,900 for 50 years.
Pretty much, yeah,
See, I don't think there's a wrong answer. I think it's a mentality. It's what
yeah,
matches your mentality. It for me, I would figure out a way if I have to have um that $700,000 house, I'd figure out a way to get it done without getting it for 50 years. Or I'm
yeah.
not ready
That's
yet.
too long.
Yeah, I'm not. So if you go to a car dealership and you say, "Hey, my budget is 500," the car that you really want is 900 a month. Okay, it's the car that
Mhm.
you really been wanting, this caddy. Okay, it's electric, it's everything you want, but your budget is 500, and the salesman come out and say, "Well, the payment will be 925 a month." and they say it's either $9.25 a month or you can get it for $5.99 a month. And they say the $9.25 is you financing it for 84 months. Or you can get this $5.99, which is $100 more than your budget, but that's leasing it for 3 years. Would you take the car for 3 years, or would you what would you do? Do you want the car that bad that you're willing to
take a 3 year?
You'll take the 3 year $5.99. See, that's a mentality. Some people wouldn't. I don't have to have the car that bad. I don't want it that bad where I would just take it because the payment is low. Because after 3 years now, what did you get for your money for the $5.99? You just got an opportunity to drive a car that you've always wanted. But
Pretty
what
much.
do you have after that? You back at square one. You got to either do that all over again, or maybe you're in a position now that you can afford the $9.25 payment and buy it. You see what I'm saying? So it's a mentality thing. It's what you want for your money. Some people, in Twin, to be honest with you, bro, like some people invest. Some people invest and they die with a barrel of money and can't take it to heaven with them. Okay. Some people do that. Some people spend their money up and they're going to enjoy life while they're here. It's a mentality thing. I don't think there's a right or a wrong. I think that all parents should leave their kids something. At least bury yourself. At least leave enough to bury yourself.
I ain't buried myself.
Well, you know what I'm saying? Pay for your funeral. That's all. I'm saying just pay for your funeral. But some people are so selfish that they just live their best life and they spend so much money and they just do everything that they can for themselves. And look, if you want to, I don't have a problem with selfish people. I really don't. But the bottom line is, you do have a choice. You can either get that car, you know what I mean, and worry about the shit in 3 years, what I'm gonna do in 3 years, or you can figure out a way to pay the $9.25, or you can do the practical thing and say, hey, I'm gonna find something that's $500, $550 that I'll have paid off in 60 months.
Hey, Wyatt, if you was a billionaire, would you pledge and stuff like that?
If I was a billionaire, would I do what?
Pledge
Pledge
like
what?
Bill Gates and all that. Like, they're not gonna leave their kids no billions of dollars.
Wait a minute. What do you mean when you say pledge?
You know, like Bill Gates, Warren Buffett, and them, they in that group or whatever they call it, the elites organization stuff. They not leaving no money. I think Bill Gates, one of them say each kid get like 10 million. The rest goes to like a dog in charity. So if you was in that group or whatever, would you do that?
I can't answer. I don't even know what none of that shit is, so I'm gonna have to say no. I don't believe I'm not leaving a dog a damn thing. All right, no. I mean, over like they're leaving their kids some stuff, right?
Like 10 million. Some leave 10 million. Some of them probably.
No, if I'm a billionaire, they definitely have to get more than 10 million. I only have 2 children, so if I was a billionaire, I mean, I would definitely leave legacy behind. I mean, but don't get it twisted. What I learned early in life, well, I shouldn't say early, excuse me. I'm older now, so early is a little different time frame for me, folks. What I learned late in life is that donating and being a donator is very important to legacy. I believe that leaving things for people and leaving things that can make other people better is kind of like the type of person that I am. Like, there's no doubt that when I die, there's going to be certain organizations that I know that I support now that'll probably get a check. I'm an advocate for women, helping women. I've been an advocate for them for 15 years of my life. I'm pretty sure they'll probably get a little something when I pass on. I'm an advocate for the Boys and Girls Club. I donate to them each year. I'm sure they'll get something when I pass
Cincinnati
on.
Still have one?
I'm sorry?
Does Cincinnati still have a Boys and Girls Club?
Yeah, not the one that I used to go to, but they still have Boys and Girls Club setups. Matter of fact, there's one up in the Fay Apartments. I probably should go up there one day when I get to Cincinnati. I hear it's Roll Hill, and I think there's a Boys and Girls Club.
They got one in Roll Hill?
I think so. I could be wrong. I heard it was a Boys and Girls Club up in Roll Hill, but I do know there's still Boys and Girls Clubs because there's one over in the Westchester area that I know of, and up in the further north of Ohio, or from Cincinnati.
You talked about Tupac earlier.
Yep.
Okay. I was agreeing with CK, which I stand I agree with him. He knocked your ass out the box with this one. You should
Okay.
have left that towel on that table.
Okay.
You know damn well Tupac, he was a motivational movement for the community. I mean for the people. Come to
Okay.
the rap, coming from the rap side of the game.
What was his best motivational song?
Man, let me see.
Oh, come on, that should be easy.
Come on, man. There's so much and everything.
Well,
I'm
it ain't
just
that
saying.
much now
We
that you
used to
can't think
juke
of
off.
one.
Let me say, we used to juke off. Brenda got a baby. I
Oh,
hit him up. Uh, different song.
yeah.
But if you look
Brenda got a
at it,
baby,
if
right?
you look at it, yeah.
Brenda got a
If you
baby.
look at,
You want to use
yeah,
that one? You want to use that one?
yeah, you can use that one.
Okay,
Then you
so
can
let's
have
just say Brenda.
Hail,
Go ahead. I'm sorry.
Hail Mary, and something like because you know he was in between because you had the positive side and you had a negative side of Tupac, but it was too late. Tupac, he had that good side when he was coming out. Then you had crack epidemics about to explode out the community. And he changed to that's why I F your bitch and that's hit him up and all that crazy stuff, thug life. And then Tupac slowed down and it was about to be a movement for him. He's about to bring positivity to the community. But it was too late. It wasn't gang related when he got shot. It was a hit.
See this, there
This
you go.
nigga,
You see,
this nigga
twin.
making too much noise
Twin,
for us.
you know, we brothers. I love you to death. I promise you, I do.
Just
But
just
wait a
like
minute. But
what's
wait a
his
minute.
name? Nipsey.
Okay,
He did his he did his
put Nipsey in
rolling
there.
60,
Put
rolling
Nipsey
60
in there.
Crips.
Here's the
He did
problem.
that all his life. And at the end, he was about to make a move. I was just nigga, what? Come
Right.
on, man. He was about to be positive change to his Crenshaw
But
Crenshaw Crips.
but the same thing that enriched him is what killed him. Okay, so you got to understand when you put gasoline on a fire and you get set on fire to a point where you just destruct because like the fire caught you and you can't put yourself out. He created that fire, so
Sometimes you got water under that fire and stuff.
you know.
Sometimes that fire won't burn, man. Come on, man. It won't light up.
Okay, I think y'all missing. Let me tell you, the analogy that you're giving is the same
Just
analogy.
like King Von.
Damn,
King Von,
exactly.
no. I'm about to whip your ass on this. You're not about to have
Y'all,
me
bro, I tell
against the
you,
ring
y'all
Friday. King Von.
just
He
be
was the
asking
next
for it.
Tupac. NBA young boy. Next Tupac.
Don't forget
What?
Larry Hoover.
Who?
Larry Hoover, don't forget it. Because the
You
mentality,
already know it was a movement, man.
exactly, your whole presentation is the same. You're trying to tell me that the same people that created the destruction are the same people that's going to come in and fix it and help it and make people good. It's almost like a guy who creates a bunch of kids out here and then he gets $1 million and he hasn't raised any of his kids. He's there 15, he has 10 kids and he hits the lottery for $1 million. Now you think he's all of a sudden going to be a great dad? He created a
No,
bad
you just
environment.
showed example of NBA young boy. He got 12 kids.
Okay.
Hit the jackpot for 75 million on his tour. You think he go create a stamina or foundation for all 12 kids? Hell no.
Well,
Out of them 12, he probably picked 4.
Well, all I'm saying, see, that sound crazy, but that's okay.
No, for real, it's real talk. He got 12 kids. He made 75 million off that tour he just did. You think he go honor all 12? Hell no. Just like Nick Cannon. He got 15, 12 kids. You think he go honor? No. You ain't gonna have no time for all them kids.
Twin, I think, but if you had time to make them, so you should have time to take
You
care
had
of
time to make them, but damn it, you ain't gonna have time for no damn 12 kids.
you had time for 12 women.
Just like me. I ain't mad, big. Did I have time for all of them? No.
You made time for what was
I
good
made
for
the
you.
little fuckers, but damn it, the money was good.
Okay, let me tell you.
But I had to grow wise and knowledge. Like, man, what the hell I did to myself? My kid want me, man. I'm doing this. I'm doing that. No, fuck this street. Like, twin going home.
Right now,
and it was too late. And you know why it was too late? And stuff because I
clue.
called a case and I said, "Fuck my kid. I'm married to the money, and only one can understand. I get to understand me is the white man to sit my black ass down." That was my understanding, and I had to wake up. Even though I was young and all that, it was the street life.
So now let me
It was
ask you
it
this.
was the choices I made, and the love of the money and women I was with.
Right. So
I
now
wasn't caring about my
twin,
kids like that. I
twin,
was caring about it, but I wasn't strong enough there to be a father. I
right.
was a dad, but not a father.
Okay.
That's a difference.
No, that's real. That's real. But
Yeah,
now let me
man.
ask you a question.
Yeah.
What what stopped Tupac?
What stopped Tupac for what?
What stopped
Being a
Tupac?
strong person.
Yeah, you said he went from being this to that and this and this that. He was turning things around. What stopped him? What you know?
It was his choices and moves he was making.
It was
He
the
had the
same. It
opportunity,
was the
but when he
culture.
had the
It was the
opportunity to
culture
do it,
that he was igniting. It was the culture that he had helped
yeah,
create. That
yeah,
same culture is what took him out. So you
yeah.
can't create something evil or bad or mean and then try to get yourself out of it. And then you think because you trying to do good now that you like that
It's a
you
possibility
can't
you
look
can
down on
redeem
what you
yourself.
created. You created this problem. You
It's
helped
a possibility that you can redeem yourself, man.
maybe so, but it's almost like putting
But it's
people.
gonna be too late. How you do it? How you make your move about it?
Look, man, I come from the mentality of this.
I know you did, but what
What?
happened
No, bro,
after
I
your
didn't even say
mentality?
it. What
You
I'm
could
saying,
have stayed
what
down there on Lynn Street.
I
But
could have.
what happened?
What I'm saying
John
to
Street.
hold on, bro. What I'm saying to you is, it's like the Nino Brown effect y'all have. Y'all think that Nino Brown is the shit in the community when he sells drugs 11 months out of the year, and then he drops turkeys in November for Thanksgiving. People stand out there and think he's the greatest guy in the world, when in fact he is the problem in the neighborhood. He's infesting the neighborhood with drugs and keeping things, in disorder and chaos. He's the reason why it's like that. And then he comes in November and drop off turkeys, and people look at him and praise him and say he's doing something for the community.
So
That's a nice
what
guy.
other praise you go get? You've been asking your Congress and Mr. Johnson, them Jones, and them for a rebuild, a rebate or whatever. Why Mr. Johnson can't come through? But I can go to Nino and he can hit me up without no question. Hey, pay me back in next call. You ain't gotta pay me back. But Mr. Johnson, you my community leader, you my role model, whatever. Why you ain't look out for? Come on, man. It's a difference between that.
Well, first of
Give
all,
honor to what honor is due, man, regardless
let
if
me
it's good
help
or
you.
bad.
Let me help you with that. Nino
You
is
can't
all.
help me with nothing, man. If you from the streets, White,
No.
stop playing with the people.
No, I
Now
gotta,
you're
I
on here
gotta, I
pump
gotta, I
faking,
gotta
man.
give you another analogy of what you're saying. Because
Preach.
what's the guy's name, Mr. What? Who did you say who couldn't drop you? Who couldn't break you off
Mr.
something?
Johnson.
Mr. Johnson can't break you off nothing because Mr. Johnson don't have the equity in the community that he needs, because businesses won't open there because
yes, he do, because Mr. Johnson is doing Ben and Miss Lisa. He got it. If you pay attention to the
we sitting
community
here
and stuff,
writing a book.
besides Miss Lisa get popped off.
No,
she get hers every week or every month.
No, what I'm saying
Come on,
is,
man. Come on,
what I'm
stop.
saying, what I'm saying to you, twin, is the repercussions of the Nino Browns of the community. It hurts in more areas than you can even fathom, that you can even think of. It helps. It tears away any equity that those communities could build, because no one wants to go there. Builders don't want to go there. The rents are low. The taxes are higher on the buildings because they had this false idea that the property value is a lot higher than it really is. So people lose their properties in those areas, and then people like you and I who can buy a home there don't want to buy a home there because it's not safe. You see, those communities are infested with crime and drugs and stuff, and no reasonable person wants to live there who would be great for the community. It's a desert of destruction, and we can't keep looking at those people who lead it and call them true leaders, because
that's bull. That's bull. So what are they doing today on Green Street?
What? You tell me.
They buying up property. What they've been doing now after all the drugs infested and gangbang and everything. What they doing now? So don't tell me they can't go in there because the property value down and all that. They going in there buying up all that property.
Not us.
Who? No, it ain't us. No.
But that's my point. But it was us.
It was us lazy ass let our grandma and them die and everything.
No, it was us who destroyed it. It was us who destroyed it. It was the same people who sitting back saying
it was us
they
snatching
up our
name. We could have took, but we want the floss and gloss and all that. The choice we made riding in the 30s in Cadillac with Vogues and stuff. We want to live that life and steady pouring into our community and steady taking up grandma no mortgages or whatever, property value when they die, we have something to bounce back. But no.
You have a point there, but why don't they fix up grandma's house? Who left grandma's house? When grandma
We
passed,
left grandma's house, but
why?
we was in the streets. Why?
No, not everybody was in the streets. What happens is you either in the streets
sometimes
or you get up out of there.
Sometimes you just like forget.
No. No, what I'm saying to you, Twin, is if grandma's house is in the neighborhood that we grew up in and it's drug infested around there and grandma passed away, we don't really want that house, bro, because I'm not going to live there. See, my point, people can get mad at me if they want to, but like, I ain't never been the type of dude that want to live in the hood because I want to live in the hood. I lived in the hood because I had to. I don't know anybody. I do know some people that want to live in the hood, but they not the type of people that I would want in my neighborhood. Because if you have a hood mentality and you doing hood mentality shit, and that's not what I want around me. But now, when you want, like, when you get mad because other people come into the hood and take those distressed properties that nobody wants, you see what I'm saying? We can't get mad at that because we created that environment. If we had our penny candy stores, our grocery stores like Avondale, if we had all that in motion, then people such as yourself, myself, AK-47, Lamont Jones, these guys, Angela, Jericho, these guys would all want to live in this neighborhood. It would be a flourishing neighborhood because we have stability there. We have equity there. But nobody wants to go live in a neighborhood, bro, that is destructed with bad properties, rundown streets, people ripping and running, fire trucks and ambulances and police car sirens going off all during the day and night. We don't want that.
That's true. But I would love people like I'll be down away sometimes and like around there where Liberty and all that, and my abandoned buildings. Why? I was like, man, I would never thought this would be happening. I mean, it's everywhere in the United States, but me being like 15 years just seeing things, like, man, I would never thought that building would be open or they did something to it. And if people just drive through there, just, take a walk, like, wow. And then the white folks came down there and turned they goofy up down there, man. Buying all them properties and people, they moving us out and all that, but you had an opportunity to do what you had to do. I mean, grab that old property or building has been torn down 20, 50 years or whatever, 15, 20 years.
Yeah, well, I mean, that's just the difference in the mentality. Like we were talking about with the cars and the mortgages. I mean, a 50-year mortgage is never going to be put on. I don't know anyone other than an investor that will take a piece of property and take a 50-year mortgage. Just because a 50-year mortgage is available don't necessarily mean you'll take it. I mean, a 30-year mortgage is available. I don't do that. I mean, a 24-year mortgage is available or a 15. You see what I'm saying? So it's just a matter of what you're trying to do and what's important to you.
That's too long though, 50 years.
I mean, like I told you, there's people that are rent apartments for 50 years. They'll be renting for 50 years. They'll rent their entire life. I don't think there's anything wrong with it because there's advantages of renting property. You don't pay property taxes. You don't have to, in some cases, you don't have to shovel your snow or cut your grass or take care of the property itself. You're not required to take care of the maintenance on it or any of that. I still believe that when you buy a home, there's ways of having that done, and you get it done. It might cost you, but you don't have to go out and cut the grass and bust your butt. And there's services out there that you can do if you're budgeted the right way. You can get it all done.
Yeah, I had this talk with my brother-in-law. He here too. Why he came a little bit after me, and he was telling me, man, you pay this and that, you add this up. You don't pay damn near $15,000 for rent and all that. I said, that's true. And he finally got his crib. He been 4 years now, being a owner and everything. Well, he ain't own. Yeah, he almost finished paying his house off.
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, he was damn near right. What he was saying, this gang banging ass nigga. And he had broke it down. So he like, twin, you paying this and all this. Hey, B, you can do it just like this. I'm like, that's true. Right. I gotta sit down and do car. I'm like, man, I know money, but damn. I gotta
Yeah, I
do
mean,
my
it
calculation
all
on this
depends on
one.
what you're trying to do. Like I said, going back
No,
to
I'm
the
just
property.
saying, if you just be like you just saying, you rent and rent, you constantly rent and all that, you 700 to 1,000 a month. That's 12,000. When you can just had a what 6 year paid off and what $60,000 house paid off in 6 years, 5 years, with that
Yeah,
much.
but where you
I'm
gonna
like,
find a $60,000 house?
I'm just saying, 70,000, 80,000, nowhere now. Hell no, that was back in what
That's in the
70s,
hood.
80s.
Yeah, I mean that's no. You can find
50,000. No, you unless it's a damn house you go fix up or something like that. Well, nah, ain't
yeah.
gonna
Well,
find nothing like
all I'm
that.
saying to you is there's a lot of people, and I'm not mad at them that have
Yeah,
dreams, aspirations,
yeah,
and dreams,
yeah, yeah,
and they really want something for their money, and they'll pay
yeah,
for it for the rest of them for the rest of their life. And
yeah,
like if somebody told me, Wyatt, I'm getting this house, it's 525,000, and I can get it for the budget that I have for a $300,000 house, but it's a 50-year fixed rate mortgage. I'm not going to be mad at them.
yeah,
I would not, recommend it. But at the same
yeah,
time, I would say to them, I guess your mentality, you want that house, you've always dreamed of it, and you're willing to, you're willing. Here's the thing: it's not like you can't live in it, 10 years, 5 years, refinance it and go down. You can go down. A lot of people refinance and
yeah,
they may take the term down, but get
yeah,
ready because if you stay in it 10 years and refinance it at now 24, I can't really do the math that's that quickly in my head, but if you stay in it 10 years, refinance for 24, that would give you 34 years in the fine in that in
Hey,
that
Wyatt,
house. Wait
what's
a minute,
your
hold on, twin. I'm
definition?
doing the numbers. I would think that
Oh,
you probably could stay at that same payment once you refinance. You probably not necessarily, no, it's going to go up some. Most people refinance to take equity out or to switch their terms and take it down to a lower term, pay the same amount and try to pick up a lower term.
yeah,
So it's a possibility that you could stay close to the same payment after 10 years, go down from a 50 to a 24.
yeah.
It's a strong possibility that you can do that. I don't know. I had to it all depends on the rates and all that type of stuff.
Hey, Wyatt, did you see the Wayne Box Miller now, ETNL, the studio today?
No, no, I remember, I know Wayne Box Miller, the sports dude.
Yeah,
I know him from back in the day. I mean, he's a nice guy, but no,
yeah,
no.
yeah. They was in the studio today, and it was, I ain't heard from. I listened to him a while back and
Eric
everything like.
Thomas, who used to play with the Bengals.
Yeah, yeah, he was
Okay.
there too.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, ET, they used to call him.
Yeah,
I
he
remember
too.
him.
Yeah,
Them nice
yeah, they
guys. I
was.
used to love to
Yeah, they
listen.
was in the studio. But here's what I say. I mean, he should be a scout for the Bengals and stuff because he knows sports
Hmm.
and everything. And he cracked me up when he said how Stephen A. Smith go talk about sport and he ain't got no record of playing in Western Salem and all that. That kind of cracked me up a little bit. Whatever I say, he got it right on that one. But
So
with
you
your
you
Bengals,
you
man,
think a person who talks about
that know the game.
yeah, you like Stephen A. I think he's exciting. I think he's an entertainer, but and he can be critical on some players in times where I think players have every right to be a little upset at him because it
Hmm.
is different being in those shoes. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like being
Hmm.
out on the field or on the court is definitely um it's definitely different than someone that just talks about it.
But I want to speak about something that I don't really know about.
Well,
He
because
really
you didn't
don't.
play don't mean you don't know about it. You might not be able to, you might not see, that's the difference. Like I think that I can talk about something that I've never done, but I don't want to get too engaged. I don't want to get too into it like I can feel the pain from it. Like cuz I can't relate like that. You know what I'm saying? Like I can't tell you why I didn't hit him down, like I didn't hit him with my right shoulder when I probably should have done that. I can't tell you because the guy could have been, he could have been injured. And see, I don't know that pain. I don't know how it feels to have a shoulder displaced and I'm still playing in a game and I'm still trying to make tackles. I don't know that feeling. So it's not right for me to say what somebody should have did.
Man,
And
that dang on ramen noodle ass logic you just said, man, go on with that, man.
okay, it's just like I've never
really
had a
speak
fight.
about that.
Wait, listen, I could sit back and evaluate a boxer all day long, but I've never had a fight in the boxing ring with a broken left hand. So how can I tell somebody what they should have done in the ring? And I've never experienced what a broken left hand feels like. So I can't tell them to throw the jab or a check hook. I mean, I can tell them to do it, but I don't know how difficult it is to do with a broken
If you
hand.
know that left hand ain't working, better tell them keep moving with that right hand.
No, because a person that don't know the feel can't tell them not to do that. They don't know the feeling. If I fought before and broke my hand, I can tell you, I know, bro. I know it's hard. I can feel it in my own hand. I know what you're going through.
That's a Nintendo starter kid ass logic. You
Okay,
just said,
all
go
right,
on with
that's
that,
cool.
man.
That's cool. That's cool.
Man, what's up, man?
I'm not mad at you.
Man, I betted on, man, the Bengals, man.
Why don't you just bet on your Bears? Stop and leave my Bengals alone with your janky ass. You probably the reason why my Bengals lost. You put money on them.
I don't care, man. I'll be rooting for them, man. I like chasing Higgins and all them, man. But damn it, man, just stop being in denial, player. Just say get rid of the coach. And the scouts, man, this ain't looking too good, Wyatt. You go lose y'all fan base. You go wonder why it's it's a blackout or something at the stadium, man. They trash. That coach is trash. You got great players. I don't care. You got good players there. You got good players in Cincinnati, man. It's just the coaching, man.
Well, the coaching has nothing to do
bring
with
in Zimmerman or Marvin Lewis as a defensive coordinator. Get rid of that dude, man. Zach Taylor, he gotta go. He gotta go, man. That's how I see it.
Wait a minute.
You got $500 million on the table with Chase Higgins and that Joe Burrow. Man, thank you, man.
So now let me ask you something, Twin. Let me ask you something. Let me just ask you this.
Virginia McCaskey ain't stepped down for the Bears, so Mike Brown might be there to the death do us apart type situation.
All right. So now let me ask you something about your coaching comment. What does Zach Taylor have to do with guys not being able to tackle? Not be able to
First of all,
and 15 and
you the head nigga in charge. First of all, your play calling from your offense is terrible.
Okay. They scoring 32, 38 points.
Second, if you look back on the defensive side, when the Bengals hit their defensive side, only one that really took them there was Zimmerman. He took them there. The other defensive coordinator that took them they went to the Super Bowl because wasn't nobody ready to play because it was COVID during the time. So anyway, that defensive coordinator they here now and before then, it's trash, man. They trash.
Okay. I will say this about coaching, which is probably about scouting as well. I think the scouting department is really bad, but yet they scouted and they went and got Jamar Chase, they got T. Higgins, they got Joe Burrow, these are the same people that we think can't scout and do all that now. Here's what I have a problem with. They went out and got that kid last year. He was our number one pick. I can't think of it. Shepard, I think his last name is. I don't remember. He's on the IR. Stewart. The
linebacker. The defensive end.
Yeah, number one pick. He holds out. He had 4.5 sacks as a college player. He's getting pushed around in the NFL. I don't know how they evaluated him as being a first round pick. He easily was a 4th round or a 5th round pick in the NFL, and he goes in the 1st round to the Cincinnati Bengals. That was a lapse in judgment by the Bengals and their scouting. I would say you can blame them for that. But you have some guys on the Bengal team. I see some linebackers that they scouted and that they brought in that have tremendous talent. Okay, they even sat Logan Wilson on the bench. These guys out-hustled Logan Wilson, outplayed him. They're doing a good job with that. I hear people that talk about it's coaching, it's this and this and that. I get it, but coaching does not stop running backs. They don't stop wide receivers. They don't stop them. Missed tackles and bad judgment plays, like not playing a guy the right way, or he out jumped you for the ball. That has nothing to do with coaching. That's just guys that are not good enough. And I think a lot of it comes down to guys that are just not good enough. Not so much coaching.
Yeah,
that's just my opinion. I think it's a combination of both.
He's trash to me.
I think it's a combination of both.
He trash. You just in denial about damn Zach Taylor. He trash, man.
So, but you do know that not every team in the NFL has ever gone to a Super Bowl. You know, there's teams that have never gone to a Super Bowl.
No, I'm talking about where I'm residing in Cincinnati and what I've been witness for the last 7 or 8 years with this guy, man.
What? But he's been to a Super Bowl.
Man, he been to one Super Bowl.
But there's
And that was
teams that
during
have
COVID though.
but there's teams that have never been to a Super Bowl.
That's not the point, man.
No, what I'm
Every
saying to
year
you is
it-
he's been able to
Every year
achieve
I got
something.
tired of the
Let me
Bulls
ask you
when I
something. How many
with
Super
Jordan
Bowls?
before he
Let me ask you this. How many Super Bowls did Marvin Lewis go to with us, with the Bengals?
none.
Okay. How many did Sam Weiss go to? Or you can name you can name the three.
Where he went to two.
You can name the.
If he was a coach back then, right? Sam Weiss.
Right.
Too, right?
What I'm saying to you is you can name the three coaches that went to the Super Bowl with the Bengals, and the coach that you
Y'all
saying
want out the strength of COVID, man. Go on with that.
that has not. COVID
That's why
has
y'all. Yes, it do.
So
yes,
the
it do.
Bengals
It's
went
like
to
the
the
Lakers went and won that bogus ass backyard
So
playoff
the
game
Bengals went to the Super Bowl because of
off
COVID.
COVID, man. Because wasn't nobody really. Everybody was just adapting back to society. So gone with that.
Wait a minute, bro. So you saying that the Bengals, that's not a legitimate Super Bowl that they went to in California?
Man, it was
Nobody.
legitimate, all right. But when people just getting their life back together, people just really kicking it outside, restaurant and stuff. You still was waiting in line without with the mask on. So people really was really adept. They were just glad, hey, we got a game, we got a Super Bowl. Okay, we'll
No,
try next harder. Here come.
no.
Come on,
Cincinnati.
man. Yes, it was,
No,
man. You can't pump
Cincinnati.
fake me like with that.
No. The Bengals
I
went
didn't
in and
even
beat some
like
good.
it, man.
We beat.
Because you
we-
couldn't even that year. You had to what? Wait outside and everything in the stands.
No, you making up shit, twin. But to be honest with you,
Oh, now I'm making up something.
Yeah, I mean, we beat Kansas City, which was one of the best teams in the NFL at that time. We beat them. We beat them to go to the Super
Man,
Bowl.
it wasn't a time. It wasn't a
We
year
beat them
that
by a
season.
field goal, though,
Oh,
twin. It was a close game. It was a hard hit game, and we lost one game the year after to the same team by a dumbass play by one defensive player hitting somebody
Yeah,
out
I
of
remember
bounds and
that.
putting Kansas City in field goal range. It's always been a competitive team up until this year, maybe a little bit of last year when it was a little bit off balance, but Zach Taylor's teams have always been competitive except the last 2 years, counting this year.
No, I don't think so.
Okay,
It's
you just
still
go
the
back
coach.
and look at the
I don't
record.
care. I don't care what you say.
You a
It's the
Bears
coaching,
fan
man.
anyway. Why you what? You a Bears fan?
I don't care, man. I could go with Cincinnati too. I go to some of their games,
Okay.
but I'm staying. I'll keep losing out and
I tell
then
you
seeing
what.
the same. What, man?
The Bears ain't been to the Super. I'm gonna let you go on this. The Bears ain't been to the Super Bowl since 1985.
You're a damn lie.
What year
I
did
know
they
you're
go?
lying on you. You need to stop pumping.
What year did they
See,
go?
I see why you don't watch sport.
I
You
do
remember
watch
we lost
sports.
No, you don't. No,
What
you
what
don't.
year
Because you'll
was it?
tell the truth and shame the devil.
Okay, I
So
don't mean to
quit
be
lying on
wrong.
here.
I don't mean to be wrong, but your best team was a 1985 team, and it was the Super
Okay,
Bowl
it's the
team.
best team and stuff.
Wait a
Then
minute,
we
but
went
that's the
07.
only Bears
We
team that I
went, we
can
went
remember.
to Urlacher in them 07. We
Okay.
went against old Colts. So
Okay,
stop lying.
okay. So it's been since 07. Okay, my bad. I don't know who was the quarterback. I don't know anything about that team.
It was that punk ass Rex Gross when he was hurt. He put him
Fame,
in the
thank
game.
you, Fame. Fame is he. I have to take somebody who knows sports because I know you really don't know. But Fame says they lost to the Colts in 2007. But your best
I
team.
just told you.
I know,
that.
bro. I agree with you. I said I'm sorry, but I'm just saying I don't know a Chicago Bear team that's been better than the 85 team. And yeah, you know, hey, it is what it is. Twin, I gotta
It
go
would
though,
never
bro.
took them. Now you got to run and stuff.
Well, it's only been what? Damn.
Man, whatever, man. And every time
You
I
was
get
on hold for
here,
20
any
minutes. I
radio
know.
station or podcast, and when twins jump on the station and we gotta go commercial and all that, you lift your tea bottle in the
Twin,
car.
you get more
It's
love here
cool,
than
though.
anywhere.
No,
You
I'm
get more
crashing
love
out.
with
I'm
the
crashing
air
out.
than
I'm
anywhere.
crashing out tomorrow. No, hey, real talk though, great podcast, especially Friday between you and Nate. It was a hell of a podcast.
Thank you.
Some people need to go back and remix off of, but it was good. But other than that, man, you still ain't nothing to me, man. I'm never
Okay.
gonna get some up there.
All right,
No,
brother.
I'll let you know.
Funky
All
ass
right, man.
Bears.
One love.
All right, brother. Talk to you soon. Thanks for engaging. That was Twin. I'm up against the clock. My sister Alethea and them sent some pictures to the Wyatt Live Messenger group about Dorothy Lane. She had my little nephew in there. Look, he gonna be tired of y'all. Little Cruz on one. He ain't going with y'all no more. You get him a cart. Look, I think sis a helicopter mama. I think y'all helicopter parents. Donnie too. Cruz got his own little cart buying them $17 apples. He want to put some shit in the cart. That's what he want. He don't want the stuff that y'all talking about. Let him get what he want. He know what he like to eat. No, get a banana. He don't want to go over about it. He know what a banana is. He's just playing that way. Let him go and get what he want. Now, what you didn't do, sis, I see you still here. I'm glad you're here. Go to the Wyatt Live Messenger group, y'all, when the show is over, and go watch the videos that she put in there. She did everything that I asked her to do respectfully, except take a picture at that damn parking lot. Did you not remember to do that, sis? I mean, because I need to know. She did take a picture of the notice that says that they're not taking EBT cards. I don't think anybody out there is disappointed about that. I'm just being honest. I don't think people care. But I think they may end up getting it. Maybe they won't. I don't know. But I know the one in the Dayton area, I know they do. You took pictures of the parking lot? You didn't send them. I didn't see the pictures of the parking lot. I wanted y'all to see the dealership out there. You know what I'm saying? Those are showroom cars sitting out there that people drive up in. And I'm wondering why the hell they out there with EBT cards and shit. I just want to know. Because what I've learned is I believe that they're doing a situation with the food stamp program, the EBT cards and stuff. And from my understanding, I think they're going to make certain people I think they're making people, not certain people. I think they're making people reapply, because what they're learning is there are people that are getting benefits under the same name twice. So, Alethea says Vernon Jordan went this weekend. He liked it. Yeah. Don't take this personal, Vernon. This has nothing to do with you. But you got to put shit on layaway out there. It's so expensive. You can't buy breakfast food out there. You know what I'm saying? Scott Bain said maybe they lost their job. Maybe so. Maybe so. And I'm sure the house payment and them car payments kicking their ass if they lost their job. You know what I mean? I don't know a lot of people that live in them areas lose their job and go get on food stamps. They generally do okay. They usually go get unemployment. They usually have other things lined up. They usually go get little, situations and stuff. You very seldom see them, collapsing to the point where they destitute and got to go, and do that. Now, I'm not suggesting that some don't find their way to do that, but it's hard to be living off an EBT card and putting premium gas in your tank. It's hard to do that. It's hard to live in the suburbs with an EBT card and that big ass, good ass, nice ass refrigerator you have with the water fountain on the front of it and the thing in the front. That's hard to do, brother. Because I'm telling you, you only gonna get a fraction of the groceries. Fraction of the groceries going to Dorothy Lane's than you would a Kroger or a Walmart, where predominantly of their grocery shoppers. I'm not trying to be rude or nasty, but to be honest with you, if you ever go into a Walmart, yeah, it's like a lot of the grocery shoppers have the EBT, which I understand, because you can get hot dogs, you can get meat, you can get things for better priced. Dorothy Lane's, shit. Go to their little meat market over there. And to be honest with you, I just got to say this. It's one of my favorite places, my wife's favorite places, because they fix fresh food. She loves this one particular BLT sandwich that they fix at Dorothy Lane's. It's really good. And all that stuff is fresh, but you pay for it. And, I wish everybody could do it. I really wish everybody could have the same experiences. If I was king, I'll be honest with you. If I was king, nobody would, I want kids to experience good things in life because it gives them something to shoot for the right way. Like when you get a kid that knows, like, let me just say this to you. And I know a lot of y'all probably have done this or it happened to you. And I'm gonna close out on this if you don't mind. I was the type of kid where my mom during Halloween would take us out to the suburbs. During Christmas time, she would take us out to the suburbs. And I would take my partner Sean, my down the way guys. We would all jump in my mama's car and we would go out to the suburbs, sometimes out there by Madisonville, out past Madisonville, that area. And over where Withrow is, not Madisonville, I'm sorry, out by where Withrow is. Huge houses out there. Look at all the lights and look at all this nice stuff out there. And we would play That's My Car, That's My House. And I asked my mother, why did we do that? I thought it was, some shit like she was just trying to, not be funny, but I thought that she was basically trying to let us go out to the white people so we can get nicer shit, bigger bags of candy on Halloween, or, go out and see the lights because we didn't have lights in our community, stuff like that. Hyde Park. Thanks, AK. That area. They had great candy, big candy bars and stuff during Halloween. They had the walk through the lights, and it was a great area, the nice little area. And I thought she did that because it was something for us to do for no money. But my mother later in life told me that she used to do that because it showed us what you can get, what you can do. People actually live like this. You know what I'm saying? And you can have it. All you got to do is want it and go after it. So I don't, I've always had that in my mind. It always driven. It was always a driven thing. My mother always, instead of telling me what I can do, she would show me what was possible. And then it was up to me to go get it. You feel me? She would give me the tools I needed to know it was possible. Well, that's my time, y'all. I'll see you guys tomorrow, same place, same time, right here on Wyatt Live. Peace and love to everybody, man. I'll see you right here, man. God willing, God given, and all of that. Peace and love, man. Nothing but love over here. Talk to you.
Tony Coles.
Let this shit ride, Tom. Gotta take care of shit that you love, even though it might hurt. All the shit I done did for my city, these niggas still cover my name with the dirt. None of this shit was easy and free. All the shit that I got, swear it came after work. It was days I would hide out and lurk on a nigga just trying to come up for a shirt. They don't know about the nights I was hurting. Tried to work, but that shit wasn't working. They don't know about them nights in my body in them car trying to sleep in that kid traverse. Hit them licks till them niggas wouldn't serve me. Told them sticks even if they was dirty. I'll never forget that little silver revolver. I shot that little bitch with a purpose. Looked at God every night like he cursed me. Quick to crash so that silly deserved. Got out on the mission, them tables start flipping the pages of life. Never know when they turn it. Now I'm turning, I own all my earnings. Got a son and a daughter, they perfect. And don't want for shit, my son ain't even 6. And that nigga got more than you niggas that serve. Love this life, I ain't gotta go purging. But they keep fucking around and we swerving. How the fuck can you hate on a nigga that's winning and know that he really deserve it? Independent, ain't asked for no service. Got the shit out the mud with a purpose. God can take me right now, don't be sad, nigga. Pop and get racked for a 6 of that syrup. Take care, take care. Look at God every night like he cursed me. Quick to crash so that silly deserve it. Got out on a mission, the time start flipping the pages of life. Never know when they turn. Take care, take care. They can't believe that them niggas returned. We the one that the bitches prefer. In the club we party until we get sweaty. In the eyes I can see that lil' mama been ready. On my dick doing biz with Liz Claiborne. Politics, I've been rich so I can pay for it. Dr. J in the bank, scoring title in the paint.
Ray Kroc on my block, double cut my purple drink. They watching me close, even reading my lips. Busting the 4-5, then I'm pleading the 5th. And I'm leaving as if that's a meeting I missed. Such a wonderful time, even blew him a kiss. Timberland rich, 250 a beat. Used to see his new crib, even came with the street. Still be touching the white, talking that bubble spark. Cause it got a double R on it if it's one of ours. Run along, boy, if you don't want a war. I got a prize, motherfucker, it's the Pulitzer. Whoop. Whoop. It's Pharaoh De Niro. They say that the floor is facetious. Fat boy, you keep feeling the bleachers. Went from selling yayo in the nosebleeds. Young niggas only got rich with the wrong things. I'm thankful for melodies that the song bring. Rhyming longer than prison sentences in New Orleans. My nigga did a dub, now he out the fed. Shit is hard to feel the love when you taking meds. Them Percocets, they had me on the ledge. 20 million cash, yes, that's called success. 1,000 acres, my own metropolis. And he still hustle with dominance. Niggas faking, I could tell by the pics. Instagram should take down your page for all those counterfeits. Getting money is still booby gang. No colors, no flags, just let the toolie bang, bang.